legacy.
All sights are set on one glittering goal. The chance to play and win in the Super Bowl.
If we die together.
Yeah.
You can get it done. You can get it done. What's more, you gotta get it done.
There's a gleam, men. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
Want a piece of that championship? Put it in here.
After all these years, Mike, that I could come out here and be nice and relaxed. Jeez, I'm a nervous wreck.
Hey, guys, where else would you rather be?
And now, ready for a nice, low-anxiety Super Sunday for a change, Soren Petro.
Right you are, Kay. Right you are. Petro, the program on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you for joining us here on a spectacular Friday.
Look at that sky.
Sure, it sucks big time that the Chiefs aren't in the Super Bowl, but at least you have this day to enjoy. Get outside, people. Take us on your phone, the 810 app. We're always with you.
Yep.
We're always with you.
The first of a handful of days where it's going to be really nice.
Yeah, it's great. It's going to suck when it snows in like a week and a half because, that's still to come.
There's going to be one of those days where we're like, why is this happening?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, beautiful day. I know some people might have dances this weekend, so nice. Because near as I can tell, kids don't wear coats.
They don't. It's crazy.
So it'd be nice that the weather's nice, for the dances. I think we're into that time of year.
Those nights it was.
We are in my house.
It was like 20 or something during that blast. I saw someone come out of a game and they're walking in their car in their short sleeve t-shirt, and I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
What's going on? I know you have a coat.
I don't know if you know this, but when a dance happens, everything else stops. Okay. Hey, you gonna clean your office up? Are you going to help us move all this? What's going on? Or is that just me? Is it only my house? Okay.
This is court warming.
I don't know what
This is about the time for.
I'm given the information
homecoming.
I need.
I know at one school.
I was told, look out, the bill is coming. Oh, okay, super.
This is about the time you get around to those.
Yeah. It's so enjoy, kids, have fun, because you know what? Then you get to be old, and there's no more dances.
Yes, and moms
and then
dads,
then you get married, and you get one more dance.
Yeah,
and then you're married a couple years, and she finally levels with you. You can't dance. We are not going out there.
This is not happening.
Yeah,
and I'm sure there aren't a lot of high school kids listening to the show. If you are, listen up. If it's your mom or dad of a high school young man, and they're be sure and let them know to tip them away at the restaurants when they go to restaurants.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes kids they get the big moment they forget.
Yeah. You don't
take care of your wait staff.
Yeah, there you go. Good call. I like that. We got a lot to get to. We are scheduled to be joined by Landon Donovan. Percentage chance.
I've heard of him.
We talked to U.S. soccer hero. I mean,
absolutely
one of the best, if not the best player in the history of the United States of America when it comes to soccer. The beautiful game. Landon Donovan, percentage chance. He's on. Kyle, I'm talking to you. He's staring at your phone. What are you doing over there?
Just sent you a text.
Oh. Did it literally just go down the toilet? Hang on, let me
Not quite.
Pass.
Pass?
We're not going to be talking to Landon Donovan. So, thanks anyway. That's not going to happen.
I mean, the text came down right when you said,
I know, right as I'm saying it. I was like, why is he staring? He knows I'm talking to him. Why is he staring at his phone? Yeah. Well, let's put it to it here. Hit me up on Twitter, at Soren Petro. Do you want to hear 6 minutes of Landon Donovan? Like, I don't know if you know this, but, like, in the industry, I'm known as a guy who will keep you a while.
Yeah.
Because we like to get to the heart of things. Do we want 6 minutes of Landon Donovan? That's like what we just got hit with.
6 minutes.
No, he's got to cut it short by 7 minutes.
Cut it short to 7 minutes is what I'm being told.
Okay, well, whatever. Same thing.
Yeah,
do we want 7? Hey, how you doing? Good. How about that World Cup? It's a thing. It's going to be here in KC. Sure is. All right, thanks for joining us.
7 minute abs. 7 minute interview.
Like when I do ESPN, they like 7 minutes. And I'm like, I don't. I do it because I'm told to do it. But I'm like, we have Jeff Passan on.
Yeah.
What do you mean 7 minutes? You guys have a wealth of knowledge. Why are we
Yes.
doing 7 minutes with Jeff Passan? What do you think's better? Like, oh, what's your favorite song? Let's come on. Let's stop. It's Jeff Passan. Let's keep him too.
You remember the World Cup? That's awesome.
I think we passed, don't we? Oh, you did. All right. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cross him off. Then.
Cross him
Let's
off.
cross
then.
that off right there. Well, I think we probably should. Don't you? Let's do it.
Might
let's
as well.
let's go get us some Greg Gurley then. Well, we were not going to talk Kansas basketball. Now we're going to talk Kansas basketball.
Tell Greg to get ready.
Tell Greg, yes, he was bumped originally for Landon Donovan,
He should understand.
but we dumped him.
Yeah.
We could have had him.
Yeah.
We dumped him.
Yeah. And then this is a rare moment where I'll actually say something to Kyle and then get your other drill guy back. See if you can reschedule that.
Yeah, call Houston again. Yeah, that'd be fun.
We don't need
Kyle's going to be
we
everybody's
want you
favorite
again.
today. Guys willing to come on, and we're like, nah, never mind. We don't need you. Oh, who's this jackass? Another guy. No, I don't need you. No, hang on. Wait a minute. I do need you. Yeah.
And I picked Houston because he's going to be. He had the Rockets game last night, so he's in Oklahoma City. He'll be at a hotel on a bus. I'm like, okay, man, I'll touch base with you tomorrow, which is today. And I basically just told him, all right, we got Greg Gurley coming, so take a hike.
Yeah.
Not I didn't say that, but you know.
Yeah. So, so we'll figure it out. I don't know. It's a work in progress. Hey,
You want to be a producer?
here it is, people. The sausage in all its glory. Lips and
Other stuff.
yeah. You ever seen The Great Outdoors? I like lips and
People been
AHs.
That's been a quote for years.
yeah. You know what's in those?
Yeah.
Lips and AHs.
But they're good.
Salty goodnesses. You know, that's what I got.
Yes.
Bring the hot dogs to me then.
The old John Caparulo line. You know what's in that? And going to like getting burgers and fast food. You know what's in that? Salt and fun.
No, it's like salt and goodness.
Yeah. Salt and goodness. What the hell's wrong with you?
Stop ripping on what I'm having. Anyway, so Greg Gurley going to come up here in a little bit. We'll talk some Kansas basketball with Greg Gurley. Danny Unleashed in the 3 o'clock hour. He was unleashed last week.
Boy,
I don't know
howdy.
that he can top
No.
his performance last week. I don't think he's got it in him.
Going to be hard to do. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger once threw for 500 yards in back-to-back games, but that's going to be a tough call for
Well,
Danny.
Ben Roethlisberger had talent. We're talking about Danny.
I hadn't thought about that.
Oh, you know, how about Clinker taking strays
He's
for no
like-
reason?
Why am I taking strays?
2-minute
No.
drill in the 4, and then Kevin Harlan in the 5. The great Kevin Harlan as he makes his way to San Francisco, California.
Voice of the Super Bowl.
Yep, the voice of the Super Bowl, which you'll hear where, Curtis?
Right here on
Right
Sports
here.
Radio 810 WHB,
Right here.
the place for everything that's blank and great.
That's right. Todd Lebo said it nearly 2 decades ago, right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Super Bowl, World Series, NBA Finals, Final Four, everything.
It's all right here.
It's here.
It's here.
Big sporting event right here.
Right here. This is where you go. All right, let's talk about the big game.
We can call it this.
I know we can. We just can't do it in a commercial.
It's big, like a bowl.
The big game's this weekend.
Wow.
Buy you a TV to watch the big game.
Oh, I forgot about the game.
Like, you're really not that big. Can I just point out, the Super Bowl's giant.
Yeah.
But you can't be that big if you have to sweat people using the name.
Right.
You're not big enough to be like, we're a cultural icon.
Yeah, right. Yes.
You know, like churches don't go, you can't use Jesus Christ.
You can't use him.
No, you can't say it.
The big guy.
It's trademarked. It's like, no, go ahead, say it. You can use it.
No. They're like you.
You even use it out of frustration.
We call it the big. We call him the big carpenter. That's you can't actually say that name.
The big carpenter.
The big carpenter.
It's like I remember one of my Final Fours to Mike Sweeney back in the day when I said New Testament or Old
I
Testament.
remember this.
Hey.
I've thought about this thing.
New Testament, baby.
It's got more about the big
It's got
JC.
more about the JC.
I've thought about that 1,000 times since that happened. That's great that you remember that too.
No, it's one of my favorite answers ever.
Oh, no.
First of all, it's one of my
more about the big JC.
It was one of my favorite Final Four questions ever.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I was like, oh, that's a good one. I like that one. Why do you keep closing the lines? Well, all right. He is good. We already confirmed.
Yeah, Gurley's good.
All right. We'll have Greg Gurley in a little bit. All right, so no phones. Don't call. Kyle does not want to take your call.
Well, normally you don't take calls in the first segment. We got Greg coming up, so I closed him out.
Oh, I didn't know if he's coming up in the second or third segment. I don't know.
It'll be second.
It'll be second segment. It's been okay.
He said, I can move up, but I've got to go at this time.
You know, can't figure out Landon Donovan or how many to have in the drill, but all of a sudden now Greg Gurley's in the second segment.
I guess. I don't.
Boss has spoken.
Apparently. If you want to know who runs this show, you just found out.
I just got a text. I got 15 minutes and can act like I'm Landon Donovan. You need me?
Hot Rod Jacobs.
Dravetta offering his services as well.
Yeah. Nice. I also got this. Here's Dravetta's. I'm not Landon Donovan, but when I was 7, my youth team played on a turf at halftime of a KC attack match, so like pretty damn close. That's good call.
I guarantee he'd be funnier than Landon Donovan.
Yeah, maybe we'll just bring Dravetta on and
just
quiz
ask
him.
questions as if he's Landon Donovan.
Soccer, your thoughts? Oh, God, I'm tired. Oh, big field. Long way to run. That's what I'd expect from Adam.
If you ever wondered how much different soccer players are, just watch any media game.
Yeah.
People that you think are in pretty good shape, you watch them, you're like, oh, wow, they're slow. You realize what freak show athletes professional soccer players are when you watch something like that.
Oh, ridiculous.
I've known guys, I'm like, that guy's a good athlete. And you see him out there going, he doesn't look that fast now.
I also, Easton Roofing's fine proprietor Joe Spiker said, I literally took the day off today to get the outside of my house cleaned up and everything looking great inside so that my daughter could have 60 of her friends come over and take pictures before the dance Saturday.
60. Okay.
Do you know, for me, there's a brunch at my house.
Yeah.
Brunch.
And the thing is,
the dance is not at 2.
Yeah.
There's a brunch.
Yes.
What are we doing, people?
Yes. I first started realizing this, the grad parties now. When we graduated, there might have been some place, but
there was your family and maybe 3 people.
And everyone, particularly the girls, everyone has a grad party for like 8 different people, and everyone shows up to one, then they go to another one, then they go to another one, and the next week they do it again. Yeah. So you said 60, he said 60 people. 60 people. That's 6,000 photographs, by the way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because you don't just take one.
No. We're going to talk to Greg Gurley. I wanted to get him on, talk about Darren Peterson, of course, and I played 35 minutes, what to expect moving forward, get his thoughts. Did Texas Tech, are they responsible for bringing the Kansas Jayhawks, bringing Bill Self perhaps his 3rd championship, and the Jayhawks, what would this be? I forget. What would they count it as? 19, 20, 25 championships? Where is it?
Yeah.
What would the number be according to KU now?
I think it's 12.
What is it? What is it in our lexicon?
It's actually, they've had 4. This would be the 5th.
If they would get one,
they would get one, yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about that with Greg Gurley.
52, 88, 08, 22 in this year.
Before we get to Greg, let's mention the Super Bowl. We all made our picks and our program picks. You've got Seattle.
I do.
Kyle has Seattle.
To the derision of Fat Jack.
Which is like irresistible force against a movable object. You being the best, he being the worst at picking, and then Pete and I being, the soft middle. What does a Seahawks win look like? How do you see it that you're going down this road?
I think they have to do. Clearly, the less has to go right for them than the Patriots. I think. Because they're the better team for that, you know what I'm saying. So
they're the better team. I mean, if
they
Seattle, have the number 1 defense, but New England has the number 4. Like there's this conversation like the Patriots defense is just ho-hum.
I think where Seattle has the advantage is going to be their defense against the New England offense.
Okay, and I think that's fair.
I do think that's to me why when I saw the betting action that Vegas the money seems to love the under, but they haven't moved the line. The money is still on.
They're pounding Seattle, and they are not coming off 4.5. Why?
Yeah, that's another one. But they're not pounding Seattle as much as they're pounding the under. And I thought that much money because it was like 60% of the tickets were on the over, but 77% of the money was on the under, which tells me the big money bettors are really pounding the under, but the line's not dropping, which means.
Well, I think part of it is
they think the Pats can't score.
I think they're not dropping the line because the big players haven't weighed in yet, and they don't want to move it and take it up and have the big players all pound New England.
Yeah.
So Fat Jack, what did he say? 90% of the wagers will come in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then we're seeing all this. We're seeing a lot of action because it's the only game in town and it's the Super Bowl. But it doesn't necessarily. It's not a normal game, so the normal betting patterns don't apply because there's going to be this avalanche of cash come in late. So, I do like the fact as a guy who picked New England. Now, part of it is I feel like I picked New England just because I want Seattle to win, and I feel if the Seahawks win, fine. I wouldn't win in program picks anyway.
Yeah.
Who cares? And the team I want to win to keep New England from winning its 7th won. And if I'm wrong and it's not a fun day, at least I can be like, well, at least I picked it right on the show.
Right.
I'm not sure that isn't what was really in the deep recesses of my mind. And I oftentimes get the Super Bowl wrong rolling the dog when the favorite's a freight train, right? And I get college football too. Who was on TCU against Georgia? This guy. This guy. I'm like, everything says Georgia's going to just overwhelm this team. It can't be this easy. Give me the Frogs.
Yeah.
Well, I got the Frogs, and they got it.
They were covering
right between the eyes. That's where they got it. So, listen, I can see a scenario. I said this with Jeff and Sam today on our Red Golden Bull podcast. I said, because they both picked Seattle, and I picked the Pats 16-13, right? And I said, look, do I see can I see a 44-10 Seattle with a scoop and score and another fumble recovery at the 5-yard line off of Drake May sack fumbles? Yes, I can. Like, that's how, if the game gets out of hand, it gets out of hand to Seattle with defensive scores. That's what I think.
Yeah.
If it's a grinder, I'm going to take my chances with Mike Vrabel, right?
Same.
And I think it's going to be a grinder. I think they know where they're susceptible, and I think you're going to see Mike Vrabel's smart enough. Like, if I were to coach the Patriots, I'd go in and going, the only way we win is like 16-13. We're not game planning for the 31-30.
And
like, there's no world where we win that.
And he was on the team that pulled what is, at the time, may still be the ultimate grinded out against the Rams.
Against the team that wanted to go high flying.
If you're looking for someone to give him the lesson,
right,
there's your guy.
I think, for me, I think he comes out. I think you see a 6th offensive lineman, multiple tight ends, and they try to pound the rock. And they don't mind punting. Like, yeah. I think they're going to play heavy on the personnel, try to play action off the run. I think they're going to grind the run. And if their defense can't hold up, they're just going to tip their cap and be like, Seattle's better, we lose.
Yeah.
So I can see, like, your path, the way I would see you guys being right, you have multiple paths to victory, which is probably a reason why I'm talking to myself, and I'm like, why am I not in Seattle if there's multiple paths? But I think if it gets out of hand, it gets out of hand for Seattle. And I do think Seattle's got a better chance of holding up against the Patriot pass rush than the Patriots do against the Seahawks. But then why isn't, if Seattle is so dominant, we had DVOA guy, Aaron Schatz, on Wednesday, and he's like, well, Seattle's one of the best teams. Like, the DVOA loves them. Like, they're one of the best teams we've seen in a while. Then why isn't it 7.5?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, they can't be that dominant.
It's not even 5.5.
Yeah, right.
The tease down number hasn't even gotten to that.
Now, listen, if it were 3.5, I'd love New England. Love them. 2.5, adore them. Right? 4.5 gives me pause because that's, hey, I don't think a field goal is going to beat me. I don't think an odd, when you lay that line, I don't think some odd 2 or missed extra point, plus a field goal is going to beat me, right? That's baked into the equation as well.
Yeah.
So there is some confidence in Seattle with that point spread, but I just don't know why it's not higher. So I think the path to a New England victory is pounding the rock, punting, shortening the game, max protect on Drake May, not putting him on. I think it's running Drake May. I think it's quarterback draws. I think it's even some option football. Put your big people out there, and Drake May taking off with the ball. Designed runs out of a pass set, spread them out, and he takes off up the middle. He's an excellent runner. So I'm betting on Mike Vrabel. All my guys in Seattle, all our guys that you hear on here, plus other guys we know, are all about McDonald being as sharp as it gets. I think Vrabel's might be the best head coach in football.
He hasn't been to this point yet.
Vrabel hasn't. Neither has McDonald.
McDonald.
Yeah, but neither is Vrabel.
I mean, in any
as
capacity,
a coach.
in any
okay,
capacity.
I see what you're saying.
But McDonald seems like a guy who wouldn't be affected by if there was a tornado outside the door of the locker room.
If the Patriots win, we're screwed. Because I don't think this is the only one that Vrabel plus May gets. If they're good enough to get it here, like my hope is that Patrick Mahomes is going to go 3-2 in the second half of his career and win 6 championships. Like I'll cash that check right now if you'll give me that.
Yes.
And that Drake May plays the role of Ben Roethlisberger. He goes 2-1 over his 20-year career.
Yeah. And
he's the Roethlisberger, and not even the Peyton Manning, but the Roethlisberger to the Brady.
Yeah.
He goes to the Hall of Fame. He gets championships. Vrabel is Tomlin, and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes continue on their path to Tom Brady and Bill Belichickville. That's my hope. But I do think if the Patriots do win this one, we're screwed. Because
probably so.
I think that Mike Vrabel's younger. I think the Chiefs are going to have a transition of some kind pretty soon, and it's going to happen with Patrick Mahomes in place. I felt like it was going to be pretty seamless if you went right to Matt Nagy, but I don't necessarily. I guess if they bomb this year and Andy Reid walks away, you could go hire Matt Nagy, and there'd be a fairly seamless transition. But now that seems to have left town, I feel like there's going to be a step back whenever the next phase of Chiefs football happens. I guess I could be wrong. I guess they could bring, step up Spags, and that would be pretty seamless. Or Dave Tobe even. I think Dave Tobe is qualified to be a head coach. But, I really need Seattle to win. Because if Seattle wins, I can see this being the Ravens with Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Good team. They're going to be good for a while, but there's no dynasty about to take off. Like I just, until he goes out and wins a shootout in a giant playoff game, or brings Seattle back from 10 down late in a playoff game, the way Mahomes has done time and time again, I refuse to believe at this point that Sam Darnold's good enough to sit watch on a dynastic team in Seattle.
See that.
So
see that. Plus with just where he's at in his career to even begin this thing. The one thing, I won't repeat everything you said. The one thing I also kind of feel, I think you're right on the idea of the range of the score for each team. I think Seattle can get to a number New England can't get to. I don't think New England can get to a number Seattle can't get to. I don't know that they will, but I think Seattle has the opportunity to get to a point where, okay, if they get to 27, it's tough to get there. No one's gotten to there against New England in a long time. But they can get to a number that New England can't reach. And I don't see it. I don't think it works the other way around.
If New England gets wrecked, the Drake May stock goes way down. The Mike Vrabel stock goes way down.
Yeah.
You go, okay, it was a great story. They capitalized on a last place schedule. They capitalized on all the heavy hitters of the quarterback world in the AFC, except for Josh Allen not being there. And they didn't even have to go through who beat the Bills?
Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos. And they didn't even have to go through Josh Allen.
No.
So I think if they get trucked, we'll all feel a lot better. They're like, congratulations, the door was open. All the big boys either didn't make it or flopped, in Josh Allen's case, and you couldn't take advantage of it. Good night. Thanks for playing. Go home.
Yeah. They beat Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, and Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah. That's kind of a fairy tale road. That's what, and I think that's also part of the reason why everyone's on Seattle. Because they haven't really, how many points have they scored? Would they score 10 in the conference championship game?
Yeah, 28 against Houston, 16 against the Chargers, so 26,
34,
54 in 3 games, 17 per.
18 a game?
18 per.
18 a game. They're not even scoring 20 points per game in the postseason.
They've given up 3, 16, and 7 is probably. But again, I hear all those numbers, and it's only 4.5. Justin Herbert, yeah, exactly.
So that's where I'm at. All right, we'll talk some more football a little bit later on. Klingsky will be with us. We'll get into the football when Danny's here. Let's talk some basketball. Greg Gurley, he is the color analyst for your Kansas Jayhawks. He's going to join us next here in the program.
The program with Soren Petro.
I'm not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, Underdog's got you covered with all the action on the big game that's coming up this weekend. That's right. It's the biggest one, and there's all kinds of action to be had right there on Underdog. You can play it right now in Missouri, not on Underdog. What are you waiting for? Listen, new customers, you got a great promo going on. Use my name, Soren, S-O-R-E-N. You can score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. That's promo code Soren, S-O-R-E-N, right? It's all at Underdog. All you got to do is pick your favorite players, right? Like I said, I'm on the Pats, so let's go. Sam Darnold, higher than 1.5 INT. I don't think Darnold's going to escape the New England Patriots without throwing a pick. I'm going higher than 1.5 interception. Already locked in on that one. I also think the running backs are going to be a part of the equation. Ramondre Stevenson catching the football. I'm going higher than 24.5 receiving yards. It's just that easy. You love the Seahawks. You like Kurtis. Probably think Walker's going to go off for the Seahawks. Go higher than 74.5 rushing yards. It's just that easy. Your NBA basketball, it's there. Your college hoops, it's there as well. So download the app and start playing on Underdog. If you get your entries right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So what are you waiting for? Get that app. Use the promo code Soren, S-O-R-E-N. Score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. Again, that promo code is my first name, Soren, S-O-R-E-N. It's all at Underdog, where you can make plays and win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology and our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
There is something special about McGregor's Butcher and Bistro in Overland Park. It begins with grass-fed, grain-finished, extraordinary steaks, hand-selected from our own butcher shop. Each plate is artfully crafted and beautifully served. Come taste the difference. McGregor's Butcher and Bistro in Overland Park.
Make your special event or family celebration even more special in McGregor's Private Dining Room. Reserve for your group today.
For the best selection and savings, head to Robert Brogdon's Olathe Buick GMC. Right now, new GMC Sierra trucks are up to $14,000 off MSRP, plus 0% financing is back. Shop robertbrogdon.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Link to term varies for APR, must qualify and finance through GMF.
Melvin steps into a three. Did it once more. Wow. 9 threes falling for Council.
Kansas City's home.
back here on the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Let's talk some Kansas basketball. We talked to the play-by-play man for Kansas broadcast a little bit earlier this week. Let's talk to the color analyst. Greg Gurley now joins us here on the program. Greg, how are you, buddy?
Well, it's great to be back on your program. You don't call very often. I feel special.
You do such great work there with SSJ on New Day. How much Greg Gurley can the city actually handle?
No, that's a good question. A lot of my friends wish it was considerably less. So I appreciate the text that I'm going to get, like, enough already.
Yeah. Let's talk about where this Kansas team is. Darren Peterson played 35 minutes last time out. Oh, boy. I mean, I know it wasn't their most impressive showing. Laying a beating on a very good Iowa State team was their most impressive showing. But, just to see all the pieces coming together, and I'll get to some of the other guys, but if he's going to play, if he's getting healthy and he can play all the time, like, to me, I liken this team to my 03 Syracuse team. Got a great young player, and then the other pieces around him are all kind of starting to, Flory Badunga is really starting to look like, he's always been bouncy and athletic, but now he's bouncy and athletic with a little bit of a back-to-the-basket game and is scoring down on the blocks. We saw what Tiller did a couple of games ago against BYU. Like, everybody seems to be kind of maturing. If Peterson and everybody else, because it's not a deep team, but everybody else can stay healthy, it looks championship caliber, or am I kidding myself with that assessment?
No, you're exactly right. And I actually used that comparison the other day about Carmelo Anthony in 03 and the pieces around him, kind of like this team, because Darren and Carmelo and guys like that are in a different league. And whenever you have one of, but probably the best player in the country, you got a chance. You got a chance to go on a run. And when teams try to take that guy out and you have good other pieces, then they get wide open looks constantly, and we're good enough to knock those down. We can make a run. And the last couple of years, right now we're in a great place. We won 7 in a row, 6 in a row, and we haven't had that in 2 or 3 years. And it's just been one of those. We never got on a run. We never had multiple weeks with multiple road wins mixed in with some premier games here in Allen House when you look at Iowa State, Baylor, and the victory against BYU last weekend. So it's fun. Those plane rides are a lot more enjoyable. And like we always say, the beer's always colder after a win. And these last couple of weeks have been no different. And we're setting up for another 48-hour flip of Utah on Saturday. And then 2 days later, the unanimous number one team in the country for good reason. Defensively, depth, probably 4 first-round draft picks on this team coming in Allen Fieldhouse on Monday night.
Yeah, it is going to be a giant game with them coming in. Let's obviously the psyche of the team is good. Like, I'm not insinuating that it's not. How is it so good? Because you've heard, no doubt, the frustrations of the fans and even people in the media saying things, myself included. I mean, I was very critical of him going into him being Darren Peterson going into the last game. How has the chemistry been amongst the guys? Because it's got to be difficult seeing, like, okay, here's our alpha dog, and everybody knows in a locker room that plays sports, who the best guy is. And anybody have to try to figure it out. He's the best guy. And when he is constantly sitting down in the second half, I think it would be really easy for people, for the chemistry to fall apart, for there to be some sniping and some frustrations. I mean, based on how they're playing right now, that's not happening. How has the chemistry remained strong in the light of what has been one of the most remarkable and unique situations I've ever seen in major athletics?
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. And I'll tell you that it's good. It's really good. And we haven't seen that in a while. And it is a difficult scenario and environment for it to be good. But I think you can point to one guy, and that's Melvin Council. He's come in and owned this team. And personality-wise, play on the court, his energy, his activity, he leads by example, he leads verbally, and I think he's the one that has kept everything together. And let's give Darren a lot of credit. I know he gets a bad rap. Darren's a great teammate. We're around him as much as I am. he's not the most talkative guy. He's not a verbal leader, but man, he does anything for his teammates. They're tight, and they all understand what he's going through. They all talk about it, and you know, it is what it is. When he's out there, he's the best player in the country. And you know, the last couple of years, I think our teams have peaked in November and December. We've had 2 great non-conference years, and then we struggled in the Big 12. This is the opposite of that. You know, we lost 5 games early, and now we're on a run. We're getting better as the year goes on, which is typically what a Bill Self team has done. And that's Melvin, that's Trey, that's Flory. I mean, we really don't talk about Flory enough. Bill and I, in my post-game interview on Monday, you know, obviously the story was Darren making 2 shots, but he stops me and he goes, "Hey, can we talk about the best defensive player in the country, Flory Badunga? I mean, he guards point guards, he guards bigs. I mean, he shut JT Toppin down. He guarded their point guard. He did it all, and that's the mix that we have. And again, it's a lot easier to get along and make sacrifices when you're winning too. So that's a big part of it as well.
Well, and you're right. He is tremendous defensively, but how about, can we talk about his offensive game? How about when you wanted to get Toppin out and you said, okay, let's attack him. Let's make him defend in foul trouble. And you throw it into the post, and lo and behold, here's Badunga backing him down and you know, going to the glass and you know, having a nice little post game there. Like that, we haven't seen that. That's a maturation of his offense that we hadn't seen before that game.
Yeah, and bullies don't like to get bullied, and that's what Flory did. And that's not a negative.
Right.
Toppin's kind of a back you down and out athleteship, and when he goes up against another superior athlete like Flory took it right to his chest. He got the ball. He was patient, went right at him. And he was 7 or 8 from the field. And that's what it takes a lot out of you too, as an offensive player. When you're having to work that hard defensively, and Flory was getting over on him, that was tough. I mean, Flory was great on both ends of the floor. He was efficient and controlled the paint. And again, bullies don't like to get bullied, and that's exactly what Flory did.
All right, let's talk a little bit about you mentioned the health. It is what it is how you put it when it comes to Darren Peterson and the cramping. Look, I'll tell you what I said before the game. I mean, I watched Carlos Alcaraz play in 90-plus degree temperatures in Australia, have cramping, drink a couple of bottles of pickle juice, and end up coming out the other end of the cramps and beating the 3rd best player in tennis. How baffling is it that cramps have been a problem for months?
Well, obviously it's difficult, and our medical staff and everyone involved in our program and his team have done everything they possibly can. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me that people question Darren's, want to be out there. He's already the number 1 pick in the draft. If he didn't play another minute, he would still be that. So he's out there trying. It doesn't make any sense to me that people would think that he's purposely doing it just because he's picking and choosing where he wants to play. There's something there. He's, whatever it is, cramps, whatever it is, he's dealing with it. And our people are dealing with it, and he's been great. This is the new world we're in. There's obviously 6-7 years ago, this wouldn't have, when you look at like when I was playing, there weren't, support teams around the player. It was like, their parents would be around a little bit, but hey, that's the world we're in right now. And that's, you're just going to have to accept it. It's just like NIL and transfer portal. You can either embrace it and get better, or you can ignore it and get left behind. And that's where we're at.
Well, let me ask you a question. You mentioned NIL. I mean, he's getting paid. How much, I don't know, but, I'm sure it's a lot. Maybe the most in college basketball, maybe one of the most. Like the people that, that pay that, the boosters, the fans, however you want to describe them. I mean, is there a frustration level with that? They're like, wait a minute, I'm paying all this money and he's only playing 18 minutes. Like, has there been frustration from the people that are funding the NIL when it comes to Darren Peterson?
No, I mean, and that's what I do is go out and raise money for that. And so I'm on the front lines, and obviously, they're not looking at it financially like they want their money back, but they want to see the best player play more. There's no like scare tactics like I'm not going to give it to you if he doesn't. No, there's none of that. It's just Kansas fans wanting Bill to have his all the bullets in his gun. So we've been very fortunate because we have unbelievable support financially from our donors that have had to change the way they view college athletics and the way they give to college athletics, because it's, for years we just preached and you can't do anything. And then all of a sudden we're like, all right, now you can do something. And so it's hard for them to get that through their head. Now, there's other programs that I'm sure there's donor bases that are frustrated, and that's more because they're not winning. And, when you don't win and you provide resources to a coach and a staff to get the right guys, that's when you start to see some, chinks in the armor.
The Tech fans making their point with their chant, how much was that a motivator for Darren Peterson?
I look at Darren kind of like a Kobe or a Michael Jordan. Like remember in The Last Dance when Michael said he heard a quote from Clyde Drexler or something, whether it was true or not, didn't matter. Michael used that to motivate him, like, oh, I'm going to kill this guy. And he did. And I think, I don't know this for a fact, but I think that stuck in his craw, that they were chanting that. And Darren's a very quiet guy. He doesn't show a ton of emotion, but I got it. The competitor in him loved it and said, all right, and he kind of waded through the second half. Texas Tech was good defensively, but not that good. He kind of deferred, but when it was game point, he took over. That's what those next level guys do. And I think he used the chance as motivation for sure.
You mentioned the name Michael Jordan. Did the game-winning shot not look like a Michael Jordan rise and fire?
I said that to someone the other day. It reminded me of the 82 national championship baseline mid-range jumper where he elevated, his follow-through was perfect, and it barely hit the rim. I mean, it was just perfect. And I thought that, or the game in Utah over Brian Russell, yes, I thought the exact same thing.
What do you think his game, who's the comp? Is it, I mean, I've heard Kobe. I early on I was saying James Harden, but this past game was where I was like, okay, I see the Kobe part of it. That rise and fire did look like Jordan. Who's your comp for him?
Early on, I was thinking Jamal Murray with Denver to a degree, but I think he's better than that. He gets to his spots, and again, what makes him so special is that everybody in the gym knows what he's about to do, and they can't stop him. And that is the sign of greatness. Like, you knew that Darren was going to take that shot in a tie ball game with a minute to go, and I'm sure Grant McCaslin is pulling his hair out, because they didn't play very good defense. But he still rose up. It was just a little rub screen by Flory. JT Toppin kind of showed, but the defender, it just took that millisecond, that inch or whatever. And, I mean, that's what I was saying in the final 5 minutes. Like, if Darren Peterson's on the floor, you set screens for him, you try to get him in some sort of space and let him make a play. This is no offense to Bryson Tiller, but he took a couple shots down the stretch. Like, I would rather have, a leap and leaner by Darren Peterson with two guys on him, because I think the percentages could be better. But it was next level. We'd love to have that more consistently, but he single-handedly won the game for us.
Yeah, it was impressive. I mean, it really was. I mean, to see him just say, okay, here it is, game over. I do want to come back to one thing you said. You mentioned when I asked you about, him not playing minutes and maybe the people funding the NIL being disappointed. You said, look, it's not what he wants to do, right? And he's going to be the number one pick, right? That is the response I get all the time, is that he's going to be the number one pick. Yeah, but that's great. But what does that do for Kansas the rest of this season? Nothing, right?
Right. But so my point in all that is that, he could just shut it down and still be, he's a competitor. He's out here, if you're already that, if he was he wasn't willing to give everything for his team, he wouldn't be here.
Well, I mentioned, sorry to interrupt you, but I mentioned the Tech fans. The other thing that occurred that day was nationally things started getting written that scouts were questioning, right? CBS had a thing that said basically, well, scouts are now saying it's one of three things. Either one, he's got some injury that nobody can figure out what it is, and it's well beyond what they're saying, and it's something that could harm his career. And most people don't think that's it, but they have to put it up there as a possibility. Two, it's just that he's choosing not to play. Three, that he's soft, right? And that he just, like, this is going to be what you have to deal with. That all, it came after the BYU game where we've all talked about it here in Kansas City, but it wasn't really a national thing. It was just like he has, there was no editorializing. There was no quotes from people questioning. They were there, and they were quoting unnamed, but quoting NBA people. I mean, so.
Well, that's where I hear you, and I'm sure that some of that was said, but when it's unnamed, and they can't really name themselves, but that's why I struggle with those comments, because everybody I talk to, I mean, they get you in their system. They're not worried about this. They're going to mold you into their system, whether it's the Wizards or the Grizzlies, whoever.
Well, wait a minute, hang on. They're not going to worry about it, because I know you talk to these people way more than I do. Really? I mean, like, when you have Zion Williamson, I put up I had the numbers. I think he's played, I think it was 249 of 523 games. They haven't been out of the first round. They've only made the playoffs. They're not going to make it this year. 2 of his 7 years there. Like, that's not a cautionary tale?
Well, I mean, fair. Totally fair point. And
I want to be clear. I'm not trying to influence you. I'm asking. You talk to these people way more than I do, so you would know. Like that doesn't stop them in their tracks a little bit.
And I'm biased because I know the kid. And
sure.
I believe that he's different, but that's a fair point. And you don't want to be the GM that doesn't take him. I just find it hard to believe that whatever is going on right now that would limit them from taking. I just don't believe that.
Yeah.
I think yes, it got a little national attention because a writer might have talked to somebody and he says that, but I just, when you really talk to the guys, to the decision makers, they know ball and they know that he's the best player. Maybe I'm being too generalizing too much or whatever, and being biased, which guilty, but I just don't see that. I don't put a lot of weight into that.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I think it's there's maybe a very small couple of teams that maybe have like a good young core. They think they're 1 year away. They find themselves they improbably win the lottery, and I don't even know if this scenario would exist. And they go, look, we have to have a guy who plays. Like if you're a really bad team, you take the talent, you're going to take him. I think if you're a good team, like say the Celtics, and this doesn't apply because without Jason Tatum, they're still winning. But had they kind of bottomed out this year, or that year the Warriors bottomed out, if you're the Warriors and you know that all our guys are hurt, but they're going to come back, let's swing for the fences because we're going to be good next year no matter what once we just get our regular guys back. Then, let's go for them. But there's a small, I think of the Rockets a couple of years ago where you could see all the young pieces coming together, or the Thunder 4 or 5 years ago where you could see all the young talent coming together, and you're like, we don't need a zero. We don't need a guy who doesn't, might not play. We got to take the safer thing is the only, and I give that's probably like 5 or 10% of the teams that are out there. But the talent.
And that could also have been remember the Grizzlies were that way probably early on with Morant, and then that seemed to just explode and not happen. So yeah, I hear you. I get the unnamed sources and all that, and that's an easy thing to say, and it's good articles and whatnot. But he's out there battling, and it's going to be a fun finish to the season. I can't. I mean, tomorrow's going to be great. We got Utah who's 9-13, and human nature is to look forward to Monday, which is going to be hard not to. But we got to take care of business tomorrow, and then again, the unanimous, undisputed heavyweight champion of the NCAA right now is Arizona, and I love having them in our house. And looking forward to it.
Yep, Greg Early's with us. He's the color analyst for the Kansas Jayhawks. Time for our Final Four. Greg, I'll start you with this. What NBA team would you like to see Darren Peterson wearing the uniform of, for whatever reason? It doesn't have to necessarily be realistic, but what team would you love to see him on?
Golden State or Dallas.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. Paired up with another great player. I like that. All right, what's your Super Bowl pick?
Seattle.
Okay, no hesitation there.
And I'm very uninspired about this Super Bowl, not just because the Chiefs aren't in it. I just don't, I can't. I watch a ton of football, and neither team does it for me.
Okay.
I got to know Mike Vrabel a little bit when he was here. He was a great dude. So, but AFC wise, if the Chiefs aren't going to win it, I'm good with someone in the NFC winning it.
All right, where does KU finish in the Big 12?
Well, I got to say first, but realistically, with our two bogeys early on, West Virginia and Central Florida, I think it's going to be really tough. So I'll go first is when I put my Kansas hat on, realistically second.
Okay, all right, I like it. I appreciate that. And finally, what's your seed? What do the Hawks get seeded in the tournament?
Ooh, I'm going to say a 3.
3. There it is. 03, Syracuse continues to be the comparison because they were a 3 seed that year as well. So, Greg, you're the man. Great stuff as always. We appreciate it. We'll be listening to your call this weekend, and of course, I can't wait for that big one next week.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Thanks for having me. See you.
The program with Soren Petro. Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, listen up. Your hen house in Fairway is reopening tomorrow with a brand new, fresh look. A whole new way for you to experience your favorite market. Listen, hen house has always been the best. Now they're even better. Listen, after briefly closing, they're reopening tomorrow, February 7th, with a curated, elevated collection you'll taste and feel the moment you walk in the door. Start with seafood. Fresh selections flown in each and every day. How about in the bakery, where farm-to-market freshness meets warm focaccia and decadent croissants? You're going to love it. How about every morning? Explore the delicatessen, featuring gourmet heat-neat meals and new flavors curated from around the world. Produce, yes, it's still the best in market quality you've always known. Now, though, with more organics and exciting new floral concepts, just in time for Valentine's Day. And discover their Apothecary, a modern take on the timeless tradition of wellness shops, thoughtfully curated for inspired living. Fresh, curated, elevated. That's what you're getting when Hen House reopens in Fairway. That's right, on February 7th. It's a destination for food, for wellness, and for inspired living. All from your neighborhood Hen House. The people you've trusted. My family's trusted my entire life. Kansas City's trusted for more than 100 years. All at your neighborhood Hen House.
The longest family-owned restaurant in Kansas City is Dixon's Famous Chili. All-you-can-eat tacos every day, and kids eat free on Wednesday. Dixon's is 7 blocks north of the stadiums on Highway 40. Online orders are available at dixonschili.com. Dixon's Famous Chili, a KC tradition since 1919.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions. It's February romance once again. Buy one toilet, get one half off. Call Connolly at 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule.
Live coverage from Super Bowl 60 Radio Row is presented by FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. Play your game.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like,
All right, we went a little long there with Greg Gurley, but always good to talk to Greg Gurley. At Brian Haney earlier in the week. Kansas Jayhawks looking like they might be special coming down the stretch. Special game against Utah. Get your tickets right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss the Jayhawks going for 120 points.
It's just what I need as a Missouri Tigers Chiefs fan, is to have a weekend where I have to think about the prospect of Kansas winning another national championship and the Patriots starting up a new dynasty. Not dynasty. Thanks. Cool. Let me go bang my head into a nail somewhere.
Well, you know, listen, look on the bright side. It could be it can't be a big flop of a loss if they're not a high seed.
True.
So you Tiger fans can dream that dream.
There you go.
Right, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I've never experienced a loss with like happiness. It's always relief. Oh, no more Final Four. All right, former Wichita State quarterback Sam Atkins has a special place in the history of the Seattle Seahawks. What is it? Brought to you by the Feta Delicatessen.
Every once in a while, we have to bring out the big dog.
Yeah.
Oh, God help us. It's time for Danny Unleashed. Sponsored by Easton Roofing, where integrity matters. Go to eastonroofing.com for more.
I'll be the judge of that, Danny.
I think you'll like it.
I think you're about as fun as a toothache.
Well, who doesn't like a happy toothache? I'm sure I've been thought of as a toothache in some people's mouth at some point in time.
Toothache.
Oh, he's a pain in my mouth.
Yeah. It's the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We welcome Danny Klinkskill for a little Danny Unleashed, brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing. Did you know that Easton Roofing does siding as well? They've got a great visualizer tool. You can preview colors and styles on your actual home so you can make a confident decision, know exactly what it's going to look like. Whether you're replacing storm-damaged siding or upgrading your home's exterior, Easton Roofing delivers craftsmanship, clear communication, beautiful results that last. Plus, they offer lifetime warranties and factory pre-painted siding with a 15-year paint fade warranty. They're the best, Easton Roofing. Find them online right now at eastonroofing.com. Great for residential renovations, new construction, and storm repair. It's Easton Roofing, not just for your roof, but also for your siding. eastonroofing.com.
Boys, look up there. All
Okay.
right. Who do you see?
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, from this point forward till almost the day he dies, is going to look exactly the same. He's bald, so he can't get any balder.
Yeah.
His beard's already gray.
Yeah. It's a great look, by the way. The black guy with a gray beard is the best.
Black don't crack.
No.
So he will look like that for 40 years.
Yes.
And he looks cool as hell.
Yeah, he does.
Yes. He always has. He's always looked cool.
The only thing you can do to screw it up is to start to go with the Eric Bieniemy beard.
A little too much?
Yeah, just go.
Well, I don't know. I kind of like the Bieniemy beard.
I mean, it looks okay on him. I just think that looks better.
Oh,
that's stylish.
Well,
I mean, I haven't seen you trotting out. You've got a nice stylish beard.
I'm not.
With a bushy beard.
I can't. When it gets too long, it starts to freak me out. Like I have to trim it.
I don't.
Steven had the big cool beard. I can't
do it either.
I can't.
I don't generally like it. It looks unkempt to me.
I'll tell you who I don't like.
People have fun with though.
There are two beards that I don't like. LeBron James' beard looks stupid. LeBron James looked good. He's got like a Hezekiah, like a Amish beard thing working. Like, what are we doing here? I don't understand. You're like arguably the greatest basketball player that ever played, and you've got one of the dumbest beards. And then
Maybe he just wants to distract from people looking at how he's trying to save his hair.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. Just go bald. Just be bald. Like, especially, it's so easy when,
Yeah, because you can't, bald is accepted. If this was 30 years ago,
yes,
and everybody
bald
is
is cool.
desperate to cover up.
There are people who have hair that shave it anyway because they want the bald look.
They run right.
But then the James Harden beard.
Yeah.
I just literally is there a small nest of birds in there?
I know.
I mean, it is just so much.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It makes me itch.
All right, I agree.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I can watch this game.
Can you imagine if you have a beard like that and you take a shower? It must be like heavy on your head.
The water just
you got a big thick head of hair. It's enough. It's enough to shower.
Yeah.
I mean, he must weigh like 7 pounds on his chin when it's wet.
Yeah, I that's the beard game. There's a lot of people. You're right. Emmitt Smith has a great beard game.
A really good beard game, local. Harrison Butker. His book it looks. I was like. That
I'll tell you,
perfect.
If you
Ryan Fitzpatrick had a good one, but it's still kind of bushy. But Butker's got the beard.
I will give you the most underrated beard in Kansas City sports.
Do tell.
Yeah, I'll give everybody one guess.
I'm not going to guess.
Okay.
My beards aren't flying into my
head.
Trey Smith.
Good try. No.
I got nothing.
Daniel Mack. Dr. Daniel Mack has a great beard.
Yep.
It's a great beard.
Good beard,
done. It's thick and he's gone with the longer look, but it's like I asked him, I was interviewing him on the podcast, and I was like, how often do you trim that thing? I was like, do you stop by the barber every day on your way into work? Because it's like perfect. He's like, no, about every couple of weeks. I'm like,
maybe
well,
it's a slow growing beard, so he doesn't have to do it that often.
No, it's
he got it to
full
where it was. I know, but it might have taken a long time to get to there, and then he doesn't have to do that much with it. That might be the case.
You figure the analytics guy is not going to have a great,
the
great beard.
He might have a good beard, but there'd be food in it.
That's what you'd think.
Yeah.
But his is perfect.
All I care about is numbers.
Yeah, he's like ready to do a beard commercial.
Somebody who doesn't have a beard, who I don't think could possibly look better, I was just watching Matthew Stafford on the stage last night with his daughters, and I was like, holy moly. I mean, some people just got it all.
Dude.
That is one strikingly handsome man.
I interviewed Matt Stafford when he was getting ready for the draft at the Super Bowl, and they were bringing a bye, and I don't know why. I'm like, you're 1-1. Like I remember when they brought Geno Smith around, and I'm like, you're trying to whip people up. You're trying to generate some interest here. I'm like, you have a rocket for an arm. You were the number one kid in Dallas, Texas. You went to Georgia. You started right away. Like, what are we doing? Why are you here?
Agent says so.
But I don't know why. Like, and he was nice. And then I sat and chatted with his dad. His dad was great. His mom was really nice. They were divorced. Mom and dad were divorced, but they were going around with him together and seemed to have an amicable relationship after, splitting up. And I was like, what is this? Like, and then like he just kind of rotted in Detroit for like 12 years. And I'm like, I guess you don't got it all. I thought you had it all, but I guess you don't got it all.
Now he's got it all again.
Now he's got it all again. He's in L.A.
Looks like he's settled into
MVP.
L.A.
What is he, third oldest first-time MVP of the Big Four? I think I saw.
He is.
Pop Stargell at 39. I should have sent that to you. It would have been a great end of the hour. Pop Stargell, and I can't remember who else was older. Maybe Google that.
He's the oldest first-time NFL.
In NFL. But the only guys...
And the third.
It wasn't hockey. I think it was basketball. Because Pop Stargell at 39 and change was the oldest one. And then...
Wow, basketball. That doesn't sound right.
It doesn't, but...
No, I don't know if that's it. I can't think of anybody who was 38.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan was done, and he might be the best candidate for it.
No.
They tossed Bill Russell. I think he was done.
Come on.
That doesn't sound
Yeah, well, Stargell 39 was the oldest first time.
Just put oldest NBA.
Yeah. NBA first time
Don't do the
MVP.
three.
Karl Malone says here oldest first time NBA. 33 in 1997.
Well, that wasn't it then.
Yeah, must have been. I could see
then?
hockey.
Maybe it was hockey.
Maybe it was, I bet there's Ovechkin or somebody, Gretzky.
No, Gretzky was winning it when he was like 20.
No, I know, but he played. I don't mean the first. Oh, you meant
oldest
first time
MVP.
Okay,
yeah, not oldest MVP. Oldest
Boy, that sounds old.
Yeah, this one go.
How about hockey?
Herb Gardner, 1927. He was 35
for NHL.
Yeah,
I could swear that he was the third oldest. Maybe it's another football guy.
Well, they said I know he's
or
the
another
third.
Baseball.
I know
guy.
he's the third oldest NFL MVP.
But this was first time. I know Pop Stargell was one, and he was 3. I can't remember who the hell was 2.
Well,
it's annoying me.
I don't know. Tennis, National Polo League.
No, it said of the Big Four.
Right.
And I thought it was not hockey. I thought hockey was the only one.
Well, we've knocked out hockey and basketball, so that only leaves baseball. That only leaves.
I don't know.
Football
Get
again.
off my ass, Danny.
Damn it.
I'm under a tremendous amount of pressure over here.
I said I had a little fun thing for you at the start.
Oh, this isn't fun?
No, it's great fun.
Take it to another level.
I brought it up. I started with Emmett Smith. That was all blame it on me.
Yeah.
After the show today, and after a little more work, I am headed to something that I've been invited to through the years many times. Just never pulled the trigger on it. Wasn't on the right day. Had a conflict. Whatever. I'm headed to
skydiving.
Walsh's Corner Cocktail for Babe Ruth's birthday party.
Yeah, at 83rd and
85th and Warner.
85th and Warner.
Yeah.
Are you going? Is our buddy?
I don't know.
Used to call the station all the time.
I don't know. He was the one who used to invite me.
The vendor.
Yeah, yes, and I can't remember his name right now, which is terrible. Please text us if you're out there.
Yes.
It's awful that we haven't heard from you yet. Yes, he used to invite me. I've been invited a lot of times, but I was at Walsh's Corner Cocktails
We have. He's a drop. He's a drop on SSJ. He's a hey got a box of
MJ.
Steven Weenies for you.
MJ.
Is it?
MW.
MW.
There we
MW,
go.
yeah.
Thanks for pulling that.
Yes. MW.
Anyway, yes, he invited me back in the day.
He used to call Don Fortune Rip. He said, "Hey, Rip and Soren, how you doing?"
Yeah, he great guy, great caller,
Yes.
and and they did forever have him going, "Hey, Steven, come on out here, I got a bin of steaming weenies for you."
Well, the owner,
see if you can find.
The owner gets out there in the parking lot and grills up the hot dogs. He's been doing it for. I'm looking at an article from the New York Times in 2007 about
Didn't
it.
we start a pub crawl yours or your birthday? Your birthday pub crawl started there in
40th
07.
birthday pub crawl, which we just impersonated a pub crawl that my wife and I have been fortunate enough to be invited to.
I went there.
think it was
the only other time I've been there.
Yeah.
Whatever you were in 07 is when it was. I only remember this because one of the places. Because at one of the places we went, Missouri was playing Colorado. At Colorado, it was the year that Missouri was awesome. That was on. That may have been when we went to Patrick's later. That game, that game was on. I remember watching it. I remember thinking that's the first time that I didn't really worry about
what game was it?
Missouri, Colorado, and the year that Missouri was number one.
Okay,
so it had
was that year
07.
Okay, so we have some friends who do on the Memorial Days before Labor Day, right? On the Saturday of Memorial Day, they have, I think, for almost 30 years, done a pub crawl that starts at Corner Cocktail, goes all the way down Warnell, and finishes in Brookside. They hit every bar.
Wow.
It was
all
also
the way
the day
down.
that Kansas put
Although
70.
that's a nice confined distance. It's not that long.
And
there's
now,
a lot of bars.
There's a lot of bars, and it's now second generation is now taking over.
So
and,
I'll be
and running with it. So that's a great
curious to
spot.
see. I guess
It was
the
also
owner,
Michael Wayne.
Wayne.
Pat Madden texted me. Michael Wayne.
Michael
MW.
Wayne, there
Thank
you go.
you.
Yeah.
If you're out there, MW, here comes Danny.
Oh yes, if he's going to be there, hope he's on this walking this earth right now.
What I do too. I do too.
So
what time is it at?
I think
because I got a dinner, but I'm going that direction to dinner. Maybe I'll swing down there early.
I think maybe it's about to get underway. I know the person who
how late to go
invited me. I'm not sure. I'm
okay.
not positive. I'm sure it goes quite a while. But they got good weather for it. I guess he grills up in honor of Babe. He grills up hot dogs and also the a lot of it's free but they ask for a donation and they donate to the Johnny Robinson Home.
Okay.
In Louisiana.
You know who used to hold court there? I think every Friday. Mike Murphy.
Oh. Well,
that was Mike Murphy's.
That would give you some legitimacy.
Yeah, if you're old school, Mike Murphy, iconic, legendary radio man here in Kansas City. Great guy. We were all fortunate enough to work with him at our previous employment spot. Mike was still on the radio, and you could not find a better guy than Mike Murphy.
Boy,
Pete loved Pete. He was boys with Pete.
He lived life to the fullest.
He lived
for sure.
life like Pete. Yes, he did. You know who's
burned his house down once?
You know who's
his own
even
house?
You know who was an even better person to hang out with than Mike Murphy?
Who that?
Mike's wife.
Oh, yeah.
She was as cool.
Yeah,
I went
that.
to a New Year's Eve party at Pete Enoch's house, and Mike Murphy and his wife was there. She bet games. We were talking betting football, and she was awesome. Mike Murphy's wife was an absolute treasure. Was Mike. But
he'd have to be a saint.
Oh, absolutely.
Married to Mike.
Absolutely. Yeah. He was buddies with Pete, and it was one of the most entertaining parties I've ever been to.
Well,
the lineup of people that were at Pete's for that party was phenomenal.
You know, it's kind of dangerous business if you like to imbibe like Mike did and you work morning drive. The party got rolling early, I'm sure, for Mr. Murphy.
Yeah. I think he was by there. I think it was a lunchtime start.
Usually you'd think it was the opposite. You know, you got to get up so early and whatever. But that just means, well, let's see. In real time, it's for anybody else, it's 6 o'clock right now.
Yeah, but Corner Cocktail, it's an iconic location. It's stop
I sang
one.
songs in that place.
And I think there used to be a place called the Piano Room or something. piano bar,
across
piano
the way.
Yeah, and I don't think it's there anymore.
No, it's across. It was
And then,
across.
so
85th,
you start there, and then
across
it's Patrick's Bar and No Grill. Our buddy Pat
There's
is
also
Pat
a
Sanders.
place in that same building, down a little north of Corner Cocktails. It was around. Then you go across the other way. There was one kind of toward the end.
No,
there was.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
that is not
Patrick's Bar and No Grill is an iconic
Oh.
location. Pat is the one who does the 0.1K
right
to benefit hospice.
Yes.
Every summer, which is he's raised well over $1 million. I don't even want to say the number because it's an incredible number. But great people, great spot. Yeah, you'll have fun.
I will have fun. And I took a couple pictures.
You'll play Golden Tee. That's what you'll do.
I won't take away. I can play Golden Tee anytime, anywhere. So I want to indulge in baseball fans who are excited to have Babe Ruth's birthday. I took a picture of our frame. I have a framed photo of Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig getting off a train in Sacramento, California, and there's a little boy in the front who's got an autographed ball from them. And the reason we got it is because it is my wife's great uncle or something like that when he was a tiny little boy. Yeah. Wow. And when we used to do the memorabilia guy in the afternoons, which I used to call the Boulevard of Broken Dreams segment, because this guy would come around once a year, and he has, I think he still does, and they do a once a year thing where he brings a bunch of memorabilia, he buys it, he sells it, whatever, and we did a segment every year when he came around where he would take phone calls, and people would call in, and invariably they would think that they're going to send their kids to college.
Yeah,
with something like, well, I've got an autograph, and they say, and the guy say, he was a New York guy. That's a nice item. I'd say that's my $700 maybe.
Yeah.
And they're, oh,
yeah.
Like every
When
person.
you go to that,
but this
Pawn
one, I
Stars
showed him
show.
mine, and he said that's worth it. And this was a while ago. He said that's worth probably at least $5,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's a really cool item.
Says here your card's worth 4 cents.
I know, it was like, and people go, yeah, they were excited, and some of these sounded really cool, but this guy knew what he was talking about, obviously.
It's like Pawn Stars, and people go in thinking they got a.
Well, there's a Netflix show.
$100.
What is it? There's a Netflix show, King of Memorabilia. I don't Google Netflix sports memorabilia show. There's a guy that goes on and they auction off like one of the episodes was dealing with the Hannes Wagner card.
Right.
It's like the highest of high-end stuff.
Boy, they're getting
King of Collectibles.
King of Collectibles. Yeah, that's what it is. That's if you like that stuff, check that out.
Anyway, yeah, it should be fun.
Danny Klinkscale. Celebrate. Today is it. So today's Babe Ruth's birthday.
Today's Babe Ruth's
February
birthday.
6th, 1895. He'd be 131 if he was still alive.
I hope MW is there because
I would just like affirmation that he's still around.
Well, I just MW would always come by. Remember we'd be when we used to do the pre and post for the Royals, we'd be up in the booth and he'd be down there hollering up to us while he was out selling.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, love that guy.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break. Danny Klinksale's here. We'll get into some basketball, maybe some soccer, football as well. It's a little Danny Unleashed, brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing. The very best when it comes to putting a roof over your home, put a roof over your business is Easton Roofing. No payment collected until you're 100% satisfied. What are you waiting for? Go to eastonroofing.com today.
The program with Soren Petro.
What do you think?
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Guess who did a little workout on the patio today? That'd be me, because my friends at All Weather Decks built us a great outdoor living space. Listen, the beautiful weather is here this weekend, and pretty soon it'll be here all the time. You can tell spring is arriving soon. It's arriving this weekend. The sun starts to last longer. The air feels a little bit different. Listen, you want to get out and grill. You want to entertain. That means deck season is right around the corner. And now's the time to plan with All Weather Decks. If you don't have that deck, that patio, that screened-in porch, that pergola, that outdoor fireplace, maybe it's a fire pit, All Weather Decks can build it for you. They're a 24-time winner of the Angie Super Service Award. Probably help one of your neighbors. Go to allweatherdecks.net. You can check out the map link where they've done jobs all over the metro. I guarantee you they've done some jobs right there in your neighborhood. Check it out. Go to allweatherdecks.net. See all the awards they've won, photos of finished projects. That's a great place to get some ideas, even get an estimate started. Even easier, give them a call and get scheduled right now. 913-206-1974. The most decorated, best outdoor living space builder in Kansas City is All Weather Decks, and they're only 6 or 7 weeks away from starting your project. So what are you waiting for? Get on the schedule now so you can enjoy all the beautiful weather that's right around the corner. Call Cass and the guys at 913-206-1974, and make sure you check out the website. It's allweatherdecks.net. That's allweatherdecks.net. Mention you heard it on 810 as well. Let them know the program sent you. All Weather Decks, Kansas City's best. Go online to allweatherdecks.net and relax.
40,000 people. Let that number sink in for a second. It's the number of people choosing pain relief without surgery. 40,000 people who said, stop, before I put my life on hold for months. There has to be another way. And they found it at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in using cellular-level treatments to revitalize joint tissue naturally. Patients who thought they were out of options and surgery was the only answer. Today, they're moving better, hurting less, and getting their lives back thanks to QC Kinetics' advanced regenerative treatments. Truth is, surgery isn't always the answer. QC Kinetics is right here in Kansas City, using safe, natural treatments.
All right, the La Feta Delicatessen, end of the hour answer.
I could go for the Boss right now.
I could as well.
I did not have much lunch. So if the Boss made its way into my hands, what's my favorite sandwich at La Feta Italian Delicatessen, I could go for that.
Hintity, hint.
I was just sitting here going, I'm kind of hungry. No, don't come running up here. That's not what I'm getting at.
I'm getting at.
I would.
I'll take that.
I'll
take
fess
that.
up.
I'll take that hit.
It is wonderful. 143rd.
Yes.
Metcalf, southeast corner. La Feta Italian Delicatessen. And go get some of their wonderful treats as well. They've got all kinds of wonderful imported treats, pastas, candies even. It's great. La Feta Delicatessen, 143rd and Metcalf. Everything made fresh, bread fresh each day. They cater. You're too late to get anything for the big game because they need 24 to 48 hours notice because they do all their ingredients fresh, so they can't all of a sudden do a whole bunch. But if you ever have an event, their catering is out of this world. It's La Feta Italian Delicatessen, voted the number 2 new restaurant by Kansas City Star. I stepped on your question there. Sorry.
It's good reason to. Former Wichita State quarterback Sam Adkins has a special place in the history of the Seattle Seahawks. What is it?
Wichita State quarterback, huh?
Played from 77 to 81.
Shockers.
Played 11 games, no starts, threw 2 touchdown passes. But he has a special place in the history of the Seahawks. Does anybody know what it is?
I do not.
It's their first free agent signee.
He is the only player in Seahawks history to wear the number 12.
Because they ditched it for the 12th man crap.
He's the only guy.
Who was first, them or A&M? It was A&M, wasn't it? Had to.
I would think A&M is the first 12th man.
Well, didn't they have a lawsuit between them? Lebo was talking about?
I don't know. That's
like arguing over the copyrights on it or something?
Boy, people go to court over some strange things, that's for sure.
I disagree, Danny, and I'll sue you for it.
Well, we were talking about the fact that, Ohio State tried to patent
yeah.
LeBron James tried to trademark Taco Tuesday. Like, that was the most preposterous. I think that's even more preposterous than the.
I would say that is, yeah.
These pretty preposterous by Ohio State. But, yes. Taco Tuesday's been around forever by everybody. And you're going to be like, no, this one's mine. I came up with Taco Tuesday.
He said he came up with the phrase?
I don't know.
Is there is it something to do with it?
I know he tried to trademark Taco Tuesday.
Wow. Is it something he said about did he have big games on Tuesday or something? What was the
I don't remember where he got off thinking he had some turf there. I think it's just when you get to be so rich.
Somebody told
no
him
one's ever you haven't heard no in 10 years. You start thinking you can do just whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess that would be an example of that.
Yes.
Free and clear.
It would. By the way, Danny, what do you like Argentina? I think we're going to get what? Argentina, England.
Argentina and England so far. I don't think they've said what base camp or what location England's going to use, but I know that what hotel they
I think England is going to Swope. I don't know if this has been officially reported, but England's going to Swope and using Meadowbrook.
Yeah.
And Argentina's going to Sporting Park. And I don't know what hotel. I read it.
Said, yeah, was it that wasn't the one that because the third whatever third team it would be if they come here would use Lawrence and the Oriad.
And I think there already is one going, even if they haven't announced it. Like everybody knows it, but
I haven't heard that. But I know Argentina's the only rock solid using Compass Minerals, and I think
and I am right. England's at Meadowbrook, right?
Yeah, they're the inn at Meadowbrook is where they're staying. I know that.
Yeah, and they're using Swope.
So they're going to use Swope.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm excited by both. I'm especially excited by England being here because I think I'll have some access to it. I know every single player on England. I watch them play every week, so that'd be kind of cool.
You've seen them on TV. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
you're not acting like your
no,
boys.
I don't. No,
story I see here says that the Netherlands and Algeria have shown strong interest and were reported to be selecting Casey. So
I had heard the Netherlands were not. Oh no, their game wasn't here. That's what it is. Because my daughter was thinking of coming over She lives in the Netherlands.
Okay.
Although she's not really a sports fan, but yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, I think and everybody in Kansas City should be excited. I think that this will even increase the amount of people who will come, because I would imagine in their native land, it's pretty. Argentina's the World Cup champion. It's probably hard to go see. You can't go watch training there. You probably can't watch training here, but you probably know where they're staying.
Yeah.
You can hang out there and hope that Messi comes wandering by or goes out for a run or something. I don't know.
Well, Messi's going to be the juice.
Right.
I mean, they put the game at Arrowhead when he came and played with FC Miami.
Yeah, I was at that.
So, I mean, there's going to be...
I saw a little 1-inch Messi down there on the field from that press box.
That's what it's going to look like.
I think that's him.
But no, but that's the worst seat in the house, the press box.
For soccer, I don't think.
Soccer, I thought it was actually it was an interesting way to watch soccer.
I actually don't mind it up there because I got some seats in the whatever it's called, which is down on the one end, on the tunnel end. It's indoors. It's like basically the press box seats, but down on one end. But it's all you can eat and drink. And I got it from my buddy who was in town. He was a Cowboy fan when the Cowboys came last. It's high. It's high. There's no doubt, but I thought it was a pretty good angle
for a soccer game. It's kind of as a different view if you wanted to watch a game differently, because you can see
everything play
the
out.
entire field, and it's almost like watching an all 24 type of thing, except smaller. But it was still interesting. But it was far, because I haven't used the new press box since I haven't covered the Chiefs during that span of time. So this is my first experience way up there.
Oh, it's way up there. The thing
you
that
can
was
see the K. You can see.
Oh yeah, you
easily
can
the
see
entire
everything.
place.
The coolest thing for me was
Columbia.
See the airport.
We were 2 boxes over from the owner's box. So Jerry Jones was 2 boxes over. And you can see him through the glass because there's glass in between each one of them. And then I think after that might be the press box, right? But the bar that they use for serving that suite is the same bar you have for those seats up there. What do they call that? Let's see if you can figure out what those seats are called. I kept seeing a guy, like every time I'd go back there, the waiter would be taking a tray of Crown and Diets. And I'm like, is that going 2 doors down? And the guy goes, I'm not saying. I'm like, and I watched him. Yeah, that's where he was going. Like,
there you go.
Like,
sounds like his kind of drink.
The Kingdom Club?
Maybe. But
that's on the other end.
It's when you see Jerry Jones doing those post-game interviews.
Oh. Yeah, but
he's been through a few.
But I think Jerry's a professional.
I think he is too. I'm just saying, he's amazing. It's amazing the interviews he does.
Right.
Amazing. Based on what I saw, the track meet that was going on with the waiter back and forth.
Yes. So, very nice. Yeah, but I think this is great for Kansas. I don't think many people who, don't like soccer, don't follow soccer.
My buddy George says you have no idea what's coming.
I don't think anybody has any clue what it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in England during a World Cup that wasn't there, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely nuts.
I got a buddy who goes to the World Cup every time, so he's been at every country. And or at least, not forever. He's not 150, but whatever. He goes, and he's like, people in Kansas City have no idea what's about to descend upon them.
Right, this will be a little bit smaller just because, there's so many sites. Usually in these countries there's a few, but not nearly as many as we have in the United States and Mexico and Canada for this one. So what do we end up with? 5 games, I think, here?
So, yeah,
right. I think it's 5. I think there's 5 games here. I think we have 3 group cup games and then a round of 32 and then a quarterfinal. I think that's it. But it's going to be fabulous, and these base camps are going to be great too. Lots of fans will be here, even if the team isn't playing here. I don't think England's playing here in any of the games that are scheduled so far. They obviously could play in a quarterfinal here,
right?
And I'm pretty sure I know the Netherlands.
Then the way the bracket sets up, we could get a Messi versus Ronaldo.
That's possible.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like a blast from the past, but Messi still obviously is.
But a lot of people think
fine.
it may be each of them's final match. If their final match took place in Kansas City, Missouri.
Well, I would say it's almost certainly their final World Cup, because people thought that the last World Cup was going to be Messi's last World Cup, and he's doing one more go around. So I would say, and Ronaldo's like 42, I think. So, but he doesn't really have to play too hard. He's over there in the Middle East. Well, he's not playing at all right now. He's in a dispute with his club, but.
Oh, what really? What?
I don't know.
He's over in the Saudi league. If people don't know, he took kind of like the Live Golf. He took the big check to go over there.
To go over there and not do anything. Although he's the leading scorer, of course. There.
Well, it's like playing high school ball, right?
Well, no, it's better than that, but it's not great. It's certainly not. It's probably a little better than MLS, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because they get a few big stars that took a paycheck, and so they're good. But yeah, he's in a dispute with one club and wants to go with another. I think he plays for Al Nassr, I believe. I don't know that much about
we don't
Saudi.
care.
I know. Anyway, he's in a dispute.
Okay.
Yeah. So now
so they haven't
now
delivered
he's not playing.
Is that
the
it?
coin. Yeah, that's it.
Penthouse suite.
Penthouse suite. That's it. Good
go.
seats up there at Arrowhead. I like that.
It looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's
too.
pretty nice.
It's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
So I'd be very excited to, go to training for any of those things. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to it, and I think it'll just mean more of an influx here in Kansas City, better things. And I don't know what the inn at Meadowbrook is charging whatever they want, I would say, is what they're charging England, because
I'm sure they have the whole thing.
Yeah, they have the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm sure they have the whole thing. So that'll be interesting.
But they'd be like, oh, look who's next door, honey.
I wonder would be interesting. Yeah, Harry Kane.
Harry Kane's right next door.
That's right. So but I think that's going to be really, really cool. It's fantastic news. I congratulate. I sent an email to media people over it and congratulate. It probably means a bunch of work for them, I would imagine. But
yeah.
So Argentina will use the Compass Minerals, which is a great training site.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure why England committed first to Swope. Maybe this was already done and just announced second, but
who knows?
I would have thought that they'd be falling over each other to get there.
Maybe they liked the inn at Meadowbrook because it's an English. It's described as an English inn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's their advertising campaign.
Okay,
Is an
I like
English
it.
inn. Maybe that's it.
All right, we'll talk about the Kansas Jayhawks. How good are they? Danny Unleashed, brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing. Integrity matters. You'll notice when you deal with Easton Roofing. Incredible customer service. The best when it comes to putting a roof over your business. Did you know that Easton Roofing can write a warranty on a commercial flat roof of up to 30 years? The reason they can do it, and only a handful of companies across the entire country can say that, is because the most exclusive commercial roofing manufacturers in the country, companies like Elevate, Gayco, Carlisle, they always supply the very best roofing companies. They supply Easton Roofing. You can find them online right now at eastonroofing.com.
The program with Soren Petro.
One's got a huge long one and one's got the regular size one. The great big long was too much.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Great news, Fairway. You're getting your henhouse back. That's right. They were closed for just a little bit, but now they're reopening with a whole new way to experience your favorite market. You're getting the best of the best, right? They were closed for a little bit, but reopening tomorrow, Saturday, February 7th. It's a wonderful, curated, elevated collection you'll taste and feel the moment you walk in. How about exploring the Delicatessen, where they feature gourmet heat and eat meals? That's right. You just grab them and go. New flavors curated from around the world. How about the bakery, where farm-to-market freshness meets focaccia and decadent croissants? Everything you could ever want in a bakery is going to be there. Seafood, yep, fresh selections flown in each and every day. The produce, yes, you'll still find the best in market quality, but now with more organics and exciting new floral concepts. Just in time for Valentine's Day. That's right, Henhouse has always had you covered for Valentine's Day, and they still got you covered. The Henhouse is opening again in Fairway. Don't miss it. Go in and check it out. You can even discover their Apothecary, a modern take on the timeless tradition of wellness shops. It's thoughtfully curated for inspired living. Everything you've always had at Henhouse is still there. Now get even more. The brand new Henhouse in Fairway is opening tomorrow, so don't miss it. Fresh, curated, elevated. It's all at your Henhouse in Fairway. Reopening tomorrow, Saturday, February 7th. A destination for food, wellness, and inspired living. It's at Henhouse.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery,
You're in the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thanks for joining us here on a Friday. Danny Unleashed brought to you by
Full of
Eastern Roofing.
hard-hitting sports conversation today.
You blew that up early. With your Emmitt Smith beard.
Well,
if I'm not careful, you'll be like, I don't want to hear Deion Sanders.
We've had 18 different arcane events today
Yes,
to talk
we have.
about. So
We have.
Let's get hard-hitting. Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk, are they, if Darren Peterson is going to play full allotment, are they as good as anybody in the country?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, at least in the conversation in the, top 6 or 8 or so. I don't know. I think Arizona might be in a slight class by themselves.
Well, we're going to find out.
But we
because
are
they're going to play him twice.
Yep, we're going to find out twice. And Arizona,
including Monday,
if they were to play,
which I don't know if you heard Gurley. It's like this Utah game couldn't be more of a scrimmage.
Well,
he mentioned Arizona a couple
he's
times.
Right.
I think he's right too.
Utah's terrible.
1-8.
So, yeah, it's not. You can't even. You can't.
Isn't that K-State's only win? Is Utah?
Might be. Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was at K-State, I think. Anyway, yes, I think Kansas because they can win games like the other night when Peterson isn't particularly good, but then is amazing at the end. Their defense can be elite. Flory Budunga, who is now scoring and everything, even if he didn't score a point in any game, he'd be a factor. He can defend anyone.
And now he's got a little back-to-the-basket game he showcased when they were trying to get Toppin out on fouls.
Right, so I do think they have a lot of things covered. However, I don't think there's any certainty even after a game where the only thought I had was maybe he just wanted to show people he could play a game, but maybe was...
You're not buying the Tech fans making an imprestion?
Yeah, I think it might be a factor in him playing the whole way.
I definitely think it was. Why downplaying it? Like, I'm with you. You said this beforehand. Go ahead. You want to say you don't think that's why he knocked down those shots?
No, because I think the chant rose up at the end of the first half, and he didn't really play very well in the second half. He didn't play well in the game, but I mean, he did two amazing things that made what fantastic players do. Rose
Before
up
those
at the
two shots,
time,
he was 3 for 12 from
right,
the
and
field,
he hadn't
5 from
he scored
3.
2 points in the second half, or maybe he hadn't scored in the second half. So maybe he had whatever he has, because he wasn't that great. He didn't look that explosive.
But he played. He kept playing. And I people in Lawrence can downplay
that was. But what I'm saying is maybe that was just a one-off. Maybe Saturday at Utah. Not in the mood, or they don't need him.
And that's why I say if he's going to play, then they're as good as anybody out there. I mean, that's because Budunga's getting better. Tiller had the great game against BYU.
And Council seems to have some assassin in him.
Council is a stud.
Yeah, I mean, a tough guy.
I would love to go back and watch what his game looked like the last couple of years, like how he was not already at this level quicker. But obviously, nobody. I don't remember.
I think he's a good Tyshawn Taylor comp at his best, because he's not a great shooter, but he will knock down the big shot, and he's got the guts to take it. But he's really not a great shooter. So he's he's like a glue piece, except he's way better than that.
Right.
I mean, he can actually run the show and take over a little bit, and
he's not a great shooter, but he can shoot it.
Right.
And
so you do have to go guard him, which is then he goes.
And he will shoot it.
And he will shoot it.
And he's confident enough that you can't say, well, he's not going to make that. You can't just dare him to shoot.
And that's where maybe a happy accident of him having to be that guy when Peterson was sitting. Now they've found a way to meld the two together, and if he plays all year, Peterson, maybe Council hasn't developed into the guy he's been of late.
And Tiller looks like he's developing his game as well. I think his upside is remarkable, which
I agree.
Probably won't see as a Kansas Jayhawk, but so they got a lot of pieces. They're not
Trey White.
They're not
Trey White shooting 45% from three is immensely important. I mean, we've been begging them to get somebody who could hit 40% from three, and now he's got Peterson's 432, 45 for Trey White. Council, we're talking about not being that great a shooter. He's 341. That led the team in the last couple of years, I feel like.
Yeah, 341 is over 50% from two, so that's fine. But that's up from his general career arc, and maybe he's just better.
I'm with you. I'm not calling him a shooter. I'm just saying that
you have to guard him.
You have to guard that. I mean, that's still effective.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely. And they defend willingly, and in a tournament setting, you would think they would do that. They're not deep, but that doesn't matter. They've got 7.
37% from the field
7.
the last 6 games they've given up. After 47% the first 3.
Right, that was all just want to
to
go back to Roy.
And maybe a little bit of cohesiveness with the kind of used to the rotation or whatever it's become.
It's just still going to be a ticking time bomb all year.
Unless we see him,
play 5 games in a row.
Exactly, that's what I said. We got to see him play 4 or 5 games in a row, and then we'll be like, okay, now you don't have to worry about that. But then Kansas always does seem to be snake bitten, so I would fully expect it to raise its head at the end of the Big 12 tournament or going into the Big 12 tournament. That's when it always seems to go to crap for them on injuries. Hopefully not. Knock on wood if you're a Kansas fan. But I will say this. I do think the defense, part of the defense, like, because they had one, they gave up a 3 because there should have been, they couldn't decide whether or not they were switching or fighting through. And Peterson, I thought, just got lazy and sagged off. And Tiller's like, oh, God, I got to get back out here. Like, that was your guy. There was a moment they gave, I can't remember who hit it, but I was like, come on. Like, that's where I was like, are you about ready to check out on this one?
Yeah.
And he didn't. He stayed in there, but he did, in my opinion, botch the defense on that one. But
right, so
but then he gets in the passing lane and gets a big steal later.
They do have a lot of answers. Am I going to be surprised if they go beat Arizona Monday? No. Arizona's got a lot of things. They're good.
They're good. They don't shoot real well, though.
They don't shoot real well, but they don't care. They don't shoot a lot. So if you're so elite with 2-point shooting that it's not really part of your arsenal, but I think they actually could shoot better, but they just have a lot of big guys who are more effective doing it that way. So that'll, if Kansas, we'll see what the series looks like. I mean, if Arizona comes here and it's a dogfight and Kansas wins it, and then they go down there and win by 14 on their home court, then you'd have to still say that Arizona's better entering the tournament. I think they are better, but Kansas is certainly now not looking like on the outside of the top 6 or so tournament threats, which I think they did early in the year. They didn't look like that. And now we see Peterson can, at the very least, be a fantastic closer for them if he's around at the finish. But one game is not enough evidence.
Yeah. Danny, appreciate the time.
Always.
We'll let you get over and celebrate Babe Ruth's birthday with the fellas.
I might even have a bite of a hot dog to celebrate for Babe.
I think you should. I think you should. That is, you won't die from just one bite.
No, I don't think so.
You finicky bird.
Lots of mustard on it.
All right, the Seahawks are trying to become the 7th team to win the Super Bowl on the home field of a divisional opponent. Chiefs, for one, name any of the other 5. Brought to you by LaFetta Delicatessen.
All right, welcome back here to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHP. I'm just sitting here. All you got to do is tell me. How about hey, here we go. Danny and I. Danny, I'm glad you caught us because Danny was unleashing some fire sitting over here. Flamethrower. We'll have to get into that next week. Danny Unleashed. Tune in where Danny craps on announcers. You'll enjoy it. Let's get things going on the 2-minute drill. It's brought to you by our friends at Jocelyn's Jewelry. Of course, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Have you gotten your Valentine a gift? If you haven't, get to Jocelyn's Jewelry. They are Kansas City's best. Almost 50 years in business. Jocelyn's Jewelry does an unbelievable job. First of all, you're treated like family the moment you walk in the door. It's great to really have your business be appreciated. They appreciate your business, love having customers come in, and love talking about the incredible jewelry. That's why they were voted the best jewelry store, Kansas City's best by Ingram's Magazine. You can check out their exquisite jewelry, exceptional service. They're at 95th and Antioch. Go by and see them today. You can find them online at joslinsjewelry.com. Whatever you need, diamond stud earrings, pearls, maybe stackable necklaces, tennis bracelets, maybe even the engagement ring if it's that time. Go see Gary Joslin and his great staff at Joslin's Jewelry. Trust me, you can thank me later. They're online at joslinsjewelry.com. Let's get things going on the 2-minute drill. We begin in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Eitan Shander is there, Fox 29, oddshopper.com. Eitan, how are you, buddy?
Fantastic, Soren. Hopefully everybody out there is staying warm as we are here in Philly.
We have 60-plus degrees today, so we are doing well.
Summer compared to where we are. Nice.
Yeah, in fact, I think we're going to get 70 on Sunday maybe. So
just rub it in.
Yeah.
70?
Yeah, Sunday or Monday. We've got 70 degrees coming,
Sunday, my high is 18.
Oh, well, sucks to be you, huh? Man.
You know me. You know my household.
Let's talk about Jeff Stoutland leaving the Eagles. Thank the fans. Didn't have squat to say about the team, the coach, the owner. How's that going over in Philadelphia?
So one thing that we know about the Philadelphia Eagles, and you and anybody else who's been paying attention to this juggernaut of a football team, that even back when Andy Reid was the head coach here, Soren, was consistently deep into the playoffs, just not winning the Super Bowl, is that they control their narrative. No matter what happens, Juan Castillo, Sean McDermott, anybody, Carson Wentz, the Eagles will always control the narrative. The other part of it is that Jeff Stoutland knows that all too well. So what Jeff Stoutland did was, without telling the Eagles and knowing how the Eagles would put out PR and everything else that followed, Jeff McClain and other reports and whatnot, Jeff Stoutland controlled his own narrative. Shout out to him. You know I'm not the biggest fan, and that's probably putting it lightly, of Nick Sirianni. This is a direct result of the Philadelphia Eagles continuing to stick with Nick Sirianni, who has been stripped of everything except basically just like basic things to prep during the week and maybe challenging the call. They brought in a new offensive coordinator, and they let a 31-year-old say, I'm going to bring my guys in. He's been in the league in this spot for 2 years. How many guys does he really have? This was Jeff Stoutland saying, what? You took away Nick Sirianni and Kevin Petullo took away run game responsibilities for me in the middle of the year because it wasn't doing great, and it actually got significantly worse. So that's why Stoutland's gone.
So does Sirianni, much like Doug Peterson, does he enter, just a year removed from winning the Super Bowl, a season where he's on the hot seat?
How could he not be? He's this is way worse than press and whatever the whole thing behind Doug Peterson was. Because Doug Peterson had at least shown that he had come up and been somebody that had been counted on and was actually involved in game planning. The limited time in which Nick Sirianni was involved in game planning, he was absolved from that. So there's really no other way to look at it. Like, the only reason, in my personal opinion, that Nick Sirianni wasn't fired the year following winning the Super Bowl was simply because of PR and optics. Because it would look so bad on the Philadelphia Eagles and so just rushed to judgment. But when you know darn well that the emperor doesn't have any clothes on, how can you not just sit there and marvel at this invisible suit?
And does everybody agree Stoutland was the reason why it wasn't just great talent? I mean, I know he took a 7th-round pick that didn't play football and molded him into a second-team All-Pro. So, I mean, obviously the guy is done some really impressive things. The resume looks great. But everybody agrees that this guy is a stud when it comes to the offensive line?
I mean, how could it not be, right? Like, I think this is pretty universal across the NFL. Jeff Stoutland is synonymous with the greatest or up there top 2 or 3 offensive line coaches that this game has ever seen. The most impactful for the Philadelphia Eagles, I would say coach and position coach outside of Jimmy Johnson and Andy Reid with what he did in those early 2000 years. I mean, Chip Kelly was an anomaly that one year where LaShawn McCoy went nuts. But when you talk about developing people, and here's the beauty of it, right? Depth. At no point except this year, really, was there a mass concern that if somebody went down, now Lane Johnson's one thing, but if somebody went down, there wasn't somebody that was prepared, ready to go. Next man up, I don't think was ever better defined by the Jeff Stoutland offensive line.
Are there more changes to come?
I don't think so. Honestly, at this point, I really don't think so. I think the Eagles are going in with their new offensive coordinator, his guys, whoever that may be. They did hire a run game coordinator here. This is it right now. There's not going to be anything else except for, all right, I believe this is the first official phasing out of Nick Sirianni, meaning if it doesn't work, they've already set the stepping stones, if you will, for him to move on and them to bring in another coach, even if that's internally. Look, they had to basically beg and plead Vic Fangio to come back because all the adults in the room are either out or wanted to leave, Soren. What does that tell you?
It tells me that Nick Sirianni's a problem. That's for sure. Let's turn to the Sixers. They made some trades. Did they do anything other than shuffle the deck and get under the luxury tax, or did they actually make themselves better?
They made themselves better in that they have draft picks that they can move. I know it's Oklahoma City, and they're probably not going to amount to a ton, but you can still maneuver. Daryl Morey is not an idiot when it comes to maneuvering the draft board. But here's what I don't understand. And this is why I love talking with you and anybody that gets it outside of this city like you do, because I'm stuck a lot inside this bubble. There is this massive uproar about a kid in Jared McCain because of how big of a fan favorite he was when he first came in, and a little glimpse of what he showed. I'd argue this year Jared McCain, coming back from the UCL and thumb injury, is worse than the Orlando Magic rehabbed Markelle Fultz, who forgot how to play basketball here. The Sixers know that Jared McCain is damaged goods. The Sixers know that he does not have the upside this year to help them in a championship run. OKC is like, we'll take a shot on this kid as we tread water without Jalen Williams and SGA, what have you. This is not a make-or-break personnel, or personnel, if you will, for this team moving forward in OKC. So the Sixers got rid of a kid who just wasn't going to play much, can't play much, and really wasn't going to impact them in the postseason. I don't get the uproar outside of kid. Maybe fans just like him. That's fine.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. I wish him the best.
I think those guys that kind of are a surprise get overvalued off what they are. I mean, you expect nothing. He ends up being a good player. All of a sudden, in everyone's mind, he becomes a great player. How about the Phillies? Zach Wheeler set to miss the start of the year. Talking about Max Scherzer. Is that the replacement?
I'm not against it, right? I think when you look at what the Phillies need to do, we just mentioned tread water. I think it's similar here. I don't think that this is going to be a catastrophic loss to where you're 3 months into the season, Zach Wheeler is not pitching for you yet. I think what you're looking at more so is, all right, can you bring in someone like Scherzer? Can you rely on someone like Max Scherzer, for example? And as well, you lose Ranger Suarez, so there's a little bit of a shuffling here. You have to allow yourself to not get into this massive hole. The division is going to be somewhat competitive up top. The Mets are going to be an intriguing one. But ultimately, I don't think this doesn't put the Phillies in a deep hole, right? As optimistic as I am about what they can be, and as I'd love to have Zach Wheeler out there every 4.5, 5 days, I don't think this is like a massive setback. And I think if you can get someone like Scherzer to fill that void, at least with 85% consistency, you're going to be fine with the return of Zach.
Yeah. All right. We'll see how it works out. No big expectations again for the Phillies this year. Eitan Shander in Philadelphia. Great stuff as always, buddy. We appreciate it. Have yourself a great weekend.
You too, Soren. Thank you, brother.
Was our buddy Damon Bruce, the Damon Bruce Show, at Damon Bruce Plus on YouTube, if you want to check it out, San Francisco, California. Damon, how are you, buddy?
Soren, it's been forever. I think the last time we were doing this, we were talking about how Alex Smith was going to be good, but not quite the guy. So
yes. And I think we nailed it. When it was all said and done. All right, let's talk a little bit of, first of all, the Super Bowl in San Francisco. Where does that register? Is it a big deal to have the Super Bowl there in San Francisco? And do people like it being split between San Jose and San Francisco, basically?
Well, all I can tell you is that the whole spreading out of the Super Bowl is the least loved aspect of this. You know, Santa Clara and San Jose are nowhere near San Francisco, but the best thing has been the entire nation's media descending on here and find out that, you know, the rumors of San Francisco's demise have been slightly exaggerated. And sure, we absolutely have our problems, but it's also one of the best, most beautiful, most gorgeous. And when the sun is out, she wears a nice short skirt. All, you know, we got manicure and pedicure. She can look gorgeous, and it has been a wonderful week. People who have been living in Cincinnati and 17 degrees are out here going, hey, not so bad after all. So it's been a great week for the city of San Francisco. I can't speak for Santa Clara and San Jose because I'm not going to a Sharks game, nor have I been to Levi's Stadium this season.
Yeah, I love San Francisco, so I think it's a great city and so many different things. And giant city, by the way, as it wraps all around when you include the whole metro area with Oakland and San Jose and everything that's going on there. So let's talk a little bit about the 49ers real quick. Going to play in Australia. What's the reaction from the fan base about them going to Australia?
Well, a lot of people thought that for sure they'd be heading to Mexico City, and rumor here is they still may be. They could be getting tapped on the shoulder twice to play international games this season, so Jed York could really rack up some frequent flyer miles. To say that you cannot get a bigger travel game than Melbourne, it would be an exaggeration. I mean, you would have to go to Mars to play a game further away. But it'll be, the 49ers are a huge international brand. They've been lucky that they've been able to dodge international travel for years now. So they got served up the biggest travel bill that you possibly can. The joke is that they didn't lose a home game. Well, actually, Niners games in Los Angeles are home games for the Niners. They take over SoFi Stadium. So they are losing their 9th home game of the year. Just going to have now to go to Melbourne. But look, the first thing I turned around and said to my wife, I was like, should we do this trip? This could be really interesting. This could be fun. This cricket stadium is apparently the Wrigley Field of cricket stadiums. Not that I know anything about cricket, but look, it's one of the biggest brands in the NFL, kicking off the play of this league on a new continent it's never been to before. So I think the Niners are proud to be in it, and there'll be no complaints. The league has got to love their two L.A. teams. Last year, the Chargers moved down to Brazil to play the Chiefs because the Chiefs take over that stadium and are 50-50 at least when it comes to the fan base. And now the Rams, everybody else moves, makes it that it's usually an out-of-conference game that you go play when you go overseas. Not the LA teams. They're trying to get they get a more of a home field advantage by traveling halfway around the world. I think that's absolutely fantastic. I guess so. One of the biggest jokes in the NFL is that the only real home game that the Las Vegas Raiders have, because again, going to a game in Las Vegas is the ultimate dude bro trip, and every fan base takes that over except for the almost non-existent Las Vegas Raiders fan base. The only home game the Raiders get is that game at SoFi against the Chargers. That is their home game, is the road game against the Chargers. All right, let's talk about what the Warriors did at the deadline. Finally moving Jonathan Kuminga. This has been like 2 years of is he going to go? Is he not going to go? They move him and Buddy Hield to the Hawks in exchange for Kristaps Porzingis, the oft-injured Porzingis. I guess they feel like, look, we got to get rid of Kuminga. If we get anything back, we'll just cross our fingers and hope he's healthy at playoff time. All I can tell you is that I hate the trade. Kuminga conceptually should fit the Warriors, Porzingis should conceptually fit the Warriors, but he's always hurt. And he's not just a little hurt. It is all feet, knees, back, illness. It is everything can't go wrong, has gone wrong for him. And I'm expecting his season to be over by March, because it usually is. Let's see if we've even going to really see him. Someone said that, they're just making this move to make another big move for Giannis in the offseason. Well, then they just disrespected Steph Curry once again. I reject the notion that they didn't get much out of Steph in his prime. They got 4 titles out of Steph in his prime. But they have mismanaged the twilight of his career severely between draft picks and twiddling their fingers on Kuminga. And now it's Porzingis that comes in, and this guy, like you said, oft injured, that's being friendly about it. He has played 17 games this year. Kuminga, who was getting coach DNP'd every night of the season, Soren, played 20 games. So they're bringing in the guy that plays less than Jonathan Kuminga, not due to coach DNPs, but because of availability due to injury. For this week, for the first time ever, Joe Lacob and Jerry Jones are being used in the same sentence, not complimentary. It looks like Kirk Lacob, his son, has screwed up just about every major decision. It looks like ego got in the way of trading Kuminga years ago when they decided he wasn't the right fit, but it was owner ego that kept him for a coach that didn't want to play him, and that was weird. And Mike Dunleavy Jr. is probably worse as a GM than he was a player for the Warriors, and that's how everyone feels this week, and that ain't good.
Yeah, that isn't good. Why is Draymond Green still there? I mean, I don't. Is it just because he has no value? Nobody will take the contract. I mean, has anybody entertained the idea of just blowing it all up and sending Steph Curry to a contender elsewhere?
Well, the thing is, I think Steph realizes that the last great moment of his career comes with being a career Warrior. And it probably means as much historically than another championship would. To be a player that has played in this league as long as he has for one franchise, it's a very rare thing. And I think that might be Steph's endgame. He's also too much of a loyal, good son to just say, get me out of here, put me on a contender, which maybe is a reason why the Warriors were given this opportunity to sort of sputter here at the end, because they didn't have a more demanding superstar, but it's just not in Steph's DNA to act like that or carry on like that. When it comes to Draymond, I can tell you there are nights of the season where he still goes into war daddy Draymond mode, and he is the biggest Swiss Army knife of defense there is in this league. But those nights are now further and further in between, and this is what happens when you become an old basketball team overnight. His trade value obviously wasn't enough to get a deal for Giannis done. It was pretty much Draymond, Kuminga, and 4 first-round picks, and the Bucks said no to that, or Giannis said no to that. I don't know if we're ever going to get the truth out of that one. But they're kind of stuck in the middle. And when you're an NBA team, that's the worst place to be. They're not going to bottom out. They're not going to rise to the top and really contend. They're middled. And that is a tough way to end what was an incredible dynastic run. But nothing is forever, especially when you take James Wiseman with the 2nd overall pick and then come back and take Kuminga and then Moses Moody, and that's really not worked out. And Brandon Pajemski is just a guy, and they just traded Trace Jackson-Davis, who is just a guy. So it's a lot of just the guys around one of the single greatest players of all time in Steph Curry.
All right, real quick, the San Francisco Giants, Buster Posey brings in a new manager. Do we like what they did overall in the offseason? Should they be improved next year?
No, I don't think so. I almost fell asleep during the question. That's how boring the Giants are sort of looking like they might shape up this year. Now, you know, maybe we're wrong. Maybe baseball happens. But I'm going to tell you right now, there are no firsts available, Soren, in Major League Baseball, except for what the Giants did with the Tony LaBello hire. This hire. No one in the history of baseball has taken a manager with 0 professional experience and put him in a major league dugout. Now, he is a charmer. You spend 5 minutes with him, and you're like, I really like this guy. But that is not how major league clubhouses work, and you know that. And camaraderie and buddy-buddy doesn't mean anything at the major league level. You want a good clubhouse, don't get me wrong. But it's about talent, it's about experience, it's about know-how. And this guy shows up with none of those things. Again, you got the Los Angeles Dodgers going full nuclear missile warhead firings in all directions, and it feels like the Giants are showing up with a slingshot and a pop gun.
It's tough in a little market like San Francisco to keep up with that big market L.A. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, spend some money on the level. I mean, I understand you can't spend quite as much as the Dodgers because they have a nearly unfair advantage with a local TV contract, but percentage-wise, you got to be spending with your competition of your revenue, and the Giants are nowhere close. They sort of got lost in the concept of real estate development around the park, and it feels like every move that the Giants have made this year just gives them plausible deniability more than it makes them a contender when it comes to keeping up with the Dodgers.
Damon Bruce, you're the man. Great stuff as always, buddy. We appreciate it. Have yourself a great weekend.
Been too long. Stay in touch, Soren.
Pete Fox, KLOS in Los Angeles, California is next. Pete, how are you, buddy?
Very good.
Clippers, James Harden gone. Did we see this coming? Was this expected?
It was a little bit of a surprise, but, you know, it's needed. It's necessary. It's kind of a bit of a coup, you know, like when the Lakers made that deal a year ago for Jokic, we were all kind of like, you know, not Jokic, you know who I'm talking about. Djokovic.
Yeah.
The other Serbian. You know, look, he's 10 years younger. So, and the Clippers are the oldest team in the NBA. And I even saw a stat that said they're the oldest team in NBA history. So, 28.5 currently, and I believe that is when Chris Paul is not in the equation and with James Harden gone. With those guys, they're like almost 30 years old on average. So to make this deal to get Darius Garland for them seems like a pretty big deal. You know, I've never been the biggest James Harden fan. He is a bit of a warrior, and it seems to be that's the reason they went ahead and made this deal, Cleveland that is, because when you look at kind of grading who got the better end of the stick, Cleveland, without a doubt, seems to be coming up a little bit short because Garland's 26 and James Harden's an old man. So you're kind of like, well, why would Cleveland do that? And by all accounts, it's because Garland's injured and banged up all the time, and James Harden isn't.
Yeah, James Harden does play. There's that part of it. Be interesting to see if him and Donovan Mitchell can coexist on the floor. There's only one basketball, so that'll be interesting.
He's gotten better at that, though. I mean, since being a Clipper, he has been definitely more of a sharer. You know, he hasn't kind of been the James Harden that we've used to been seeing through his career, where it's like it's you know he's capable of it, right? Like almost when on demand. Like when you need him to be that guy, he can. But if you want him to give up the ball and you want him to be the second scoring option, he's capable of that too. He's kind of understood where he fits in a little bit better as a member of the Clippers.
Ivica, was that right? Zubac? I always just say Zubac. The center for the Clippers traded to Indiana for more than what Anthony Davis brought back to the Dallas Mavericks. I think that's amazing. Great defensive player. Oh, and he plays, unlike Anthony Davis, who's always hurt. I think that's one of the big things. But are we surprised at how much? Couple of first-round picks and a first-rounder, Benedict Mathurin, who they got in the deal as well. Are you shocked at how much Zubac brought back?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm surprised the Clippers got rid of him because he's always just been very good for them. I don't quite understand that deal because they've needed him as their scorer. They lost so much scoring this year when Norm Powell left, and they replaced him, but not with somebody who could score like him. So, and you know how often Kawhi Leonard gets banged up, right?
Yeah.
Or how often he's not on the floor, right? As to whether or not he's actually hurt is the big question a lot of the time, but how frequently he's out. So when he is out, with the last setup of the makeup of the team, it was all the scoring was on James Harden and Norm Powell, and then Norm Powell's gone. They needed Zubac to score a lot, and he did. So that's a surprising one to me. So yeah, they got something for him, which is great. But yeah, you can look at that two different ways for sure.
Did they try to move Kawhi? Is Kawhi expected? Are they going to blow this thing up? They don't have any first round picks for years. I mean, what is the bigger overall plan moving forward?
And we didn't hear anything about that. No, Kawhi's 32 and is playing right now, so that's good. So there wasn't any real talk of that. I don't think Kawhi would accept a deal. Like, I don't think Kawhi wants to go anywhere, right? I think he's perfectly happy being at home. I think he's perfectly happy being on a team that is mediocre with, a little bit of possibility, some energy. Like right now, they went 15-3 during that run, a week or so ago, and they're still alive. They're not dead yet. So I feel like he's happy, right? It doesn't ever feel like he's kind of in this doldrum where he wants to get out and get to a contender. I think he's completely content being in this situation.
Yeah, I think he's a little older than that. I think he's 35, 34, going on 35. But but listen, who would trade for him? Who would want to bring on the money? I mean, I think it's you said it. James Harden plays. Zubik plays. I mean, your ability largely is tied to your availability, and Kawhi Leonard is always a question mark, and is kind of a unique cat. When it comes to dealing with them. The Lakers did not make any kind of big splash. Is that because they're just waiting on LeBron to walk away and they're going to retool next year? Why are you surprised they didn't do more?
Not really, no. Doncic, that's the guy. They really are focusing the future around him, obviously. So, you're absolutely right. They're just waiting to see what LeBron does. And when, right? Like, when is he going to decide that it's time for him to move on and retire or whatever? I don't know. So it definitely feels like he didn't want them to acquire anybody, and so they didn't.
Yeah,
he's going to be there until he's not, and then they'll start retooling again. And then the big factor with where this Laker team is right now is the new ownership, right? I think they're still trying to figure out what they want to do, right? They're kind of surveying the lay of the land, and then, they're going to start putting their fingers into the deal making, and they're putting their stamp on this team.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a little bit of an assimilation period that's going on there. All right, news today that Cliff Kingsbury is going to join the Rams staff. First of all, I mean, this is just do the Rams get the credit for how far ahead of the curve they seem to be? Like, number one, they quit sending people to the combine. They mass accumulate draft picks and just throw numbers at the draft. They seem to be one of the smarter teams. Here's a guy who's a talented offensive mind. Not sure where he's going to go, but they're not going to let him get away. They just bring him in. Do people recognize how good the Rams seem to be at just building football teams?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Sean McVay coaching tree right now is a big thing with all these guys that are moving on to other jobs with other teams as coordinators and head coaches and whatnot. So, I mean, yeah, without a doubt that Sean McVay and the Rams organization gets credit for that. Occasionally I spent a couple of days with a buddy who is a long-time Rams fan, and he hears from other Rams fans that at times, this season specifically, when not everyone, but people in LA, specifically Rams fans, feel like they should be in the Super Bowl. They feel like they should have won the Super Bowl last year, kind of a thing, and that Sean McVay should be fired. and there are definitely people out there that think that. And if you know anything about football, the second that Sean McVay was fired, he'd have 10 offers on the table overnight. So there's definitely a buzz. It's not lost on real football fans what Sean McVay and the Rams organization has done and will continue to do as long as they're allowed to.
Yeah, and more importantly, Rams ownership gets it. That's why they extended both coach and GM in this offseason. So, I think that's definitely something to look at. All right, and Mike McDaniel plus Jim Harbaugh. Is everybody just giddy to see the press conferences or to hopefully be able to record the interaction between the two?
Yeah, absolutely. Charger fans are definitely over the moon. On our Locked On Chargers podcast, somebody commented that if the loss to New England, where they scored just 3 points, was the reason that Greg Roman got fired and Mike McDaniel got hired, that it was the best game of the season for them. So everyone is very excited the way this has turned out. The reviews are with McDaniel and then Chris O'Leary, who many people have not heard of, but was in the Charger organization year before last. So he went to Western Michigan for a year and just ran the Charger defense there. Just went there and said, all right, I am going to just absolutely steal everything that the Chargers have been doing on defense, and I'm going to do it in Kalamazoo, Michigan, with the Western Michigan Broncos, and just copy everything that they do. And he literally said that when he would run through breaking down the defense with his team, he would look at the Chargers defense and then just insert the Broncos name into it, right? And say, this is what we are doing, right? This is how it's going to look for us. So he's going to fit in very nicely because it's all about continuity and all about just keeping what Jesse Minter had built, because he was part of it, right? He was part of the creation of it. So for him to go away for a year and kind of just hone his skills and now come back as the defensive coordinator, the continuity and just building on what has been and hopefully making it better is going to continue. And that's a great philosophy to have for that defense, which was very, very good last year. And then you throw in Mike McDaniel with the offense that the Chargers had and Justin Herbert. He's going to fit Justin Herbert's style very, very well. Tighter formations, quick release of the ball, getting the ball to guys like Ladd McConkey more on screens, bubble screens, option routes, things like that, as opposed to trying to stretch the field all the time. It's really going to be great, I think. I mean, I feel like it can't be any worse than what Greg Roman was doing, but it's like the parts are going to fit together very, very nicely.
Yeah, and he really coordinates a run game as well, and we didn't see. Right. I know Marion Hampton got hurt at one part, but even before and after, we didn't really see from him what we thought we would, being a first-round draft pick and everything. No. So I think Mike McDaniel gets.
That we stumbled across today that was very, very interesting. The Chargers had their quarterback, Justin Herbert, lead the team in rushing in 8 games this year. I mean, that just can't happen, right? It's just like that's not something that can happen for any team, let alone the Chargers. So you have to build more of a running game, and that is absolutely another thing that Mike McDaniel brings to the table.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, when I think great running quarterbacks, I think Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, right? It's, 1-2 in that bunch.
That's exactly what I said. How many times did Lamar Jackson lead the team in rushing? Once.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah.
Right? So.
It's a great point. I mean, I didn't even realize that. That's staggering to think that that's where they were with the running game. That will change with Mike McDaniel. We don't like it here in Kansas City, but he'll be an improvement. Pete Fox, we always like it when we get some time with you, buddy. We appreciate the time. Have yourself a great weekend, my friend.
You too. Thanks, man.
All right, the La Feta Delicatessen, end of the hour answer. Seahawks will try to become the 7th team to win the Super Bowl on the home field of a divisional opponent. The Chiefs were one of them. Name any. I asked for any of the other 5.
To win
the Super Bowl on the home field of a divisional opponent.
And the Chiefs did it?
Chiefs did it at Las Vegas.
That's right. Okay. Well, I would think something happened in New Orleans, maybe just so many games.
Mm-mm.
No?
Somebody played there but didn't win there.
So no one's ever won?
In New Orleans. Actually, there was one. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes. The ones that won were all realignment. So Saints were in a different.
So they were in the Niners then.
Niners in '89, Super
Nailed
Bowl 24. The 55-10 blowout was in New Orleans. The others, the first one, actually the first Super Bowl after the merger. Nice sentence. The Colts won. Colts beat the after was 3.
Your brain has the candy shell.
It's your dog. The Colts won at Miami, beat them. You mentioned the Niners at New Orleans. The Cowboys beat the Steelers in Tempe.
Because the Cardinals were in the NFC East then. Yeah.
Cardinals beat the Packers in San Diego. The Broncos beat the Packers in San Diego.
You know, you want to just call it a day?
Yeah. Let's try this again.
I've got some Coronas in my fridge downstairs. If you want to just finish off whatever you were doing in that room earlier.
Maybe I was left over from what you were doing in that room earlier, reading some stuff and having some issues as well.
Yeah, but that was not on the air.
No,
nobody knows that.
Yeah, they do now.
Nobody knows that I butchered scripts.
They do now.
Ridiculously. No.
Okay, let me try this again. Colts beat the Cowboys in Miami. 49ers beat the Broncos in New Orleans.
So the Colts, that was when the Colts were in the AFC East. Let's bring people up to speed.
Okay. That's true, because they're old.
They're not all football dorks like you and I and remember the divisions that everybody was in. The Colts used to be in the AFC East.
Colts were in the AFC East. They beat the Cowboys in Miami. Super Bowl 24, the 49ers beat the Broncos in New Orleans, who was at that time in the NFC West. There was no NFC Central or South. In Super Bowl 30, the Cowboys beat the Steelers in Tempe. The Cardinals at that time were in the NFC East. Super Bowl 32, the Broncos beat the Packers in San Diego.
2 AFC West teams, Chargers.
Super Bowl 34, the Rams beat the Titans in Atlanta. The Falcons at that time Rams were still in the NFC West together.
Which is we were talking about that
weird,
the other day.
And
Atlanta Falcons in the NFC. What did FIFA pick the divisions back in the day? Remember they introduced that? Like Atlanta, the Midwest.
No. And, of course, I mentioned the Chiefs and 49ers in Las Vegas. 4 other teams played there. The Broncos. Broncos, and this is what's fun, though.
Oh.
San Diego has hosted the Super Bowl 3 times.
Right.
And all 3 times they've had to watch while a division opponent played.
Yeah.
The Broncos in Super Bowl 22 against Washington, and the Raiders in Super Bowl 37 against the Bucs. Now
they at least got to watch them lose.
Yeah, they had to watch the Broncos win over the Packers,
but the other 2 times
they got to watch the other team just get dismantled.
Yeah, it does kind of suck. You know, if the Rams had been there this year.
Yep.
Oh, no, the Seahawks are there. So the 49er fans could be watching one of their division opponents, go out and win a game on their field.
And I thought about this when
the great statistic is that the Kansas City Chiefs have won more postseason games on that field than the Raiders have.
Yes.
They played in more. I don't think the Raiders, they haven't been to the postseason since they've been there.
1-0.
Or did they get there one year?
Did they?
Some 10-7
I don't think they
or something.
I don't think they did.
Forgetting. I don't think so either.
But kind of.
Well, and I think also, isn't Andy Reid the winningest coach in the history of that field?
Yes. Yeah,
because the Raiders haven't gone more than like 1 year. Like Josh McDaniels, like he with the win this year, didn't he go by Josh McDaniels or something?
Yep, his 7th win. I think that was his 7th win in that stadium, and that moved him past Josh McDaniels for the all-time lead in wins at Allegiant Stadium, which is just hilarious.
It's just utterly fantastic.
It's beautiful.
Like it is vital that the Chiefs win next year, and keep that like for as long as possible.
Yes.
I actually think Clint Kubiak can coach a little bit, so he's
have some-
probably
he'll
going to
have
come
some
in and actually break that record. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe he
that
lasts a
first
couple years.
That first year, they have to.
It might take 3. I mean, if he's
true.
3 and if they're 4-13 the first year because they go,
He
we're going to
wins
build
1
this
or
for the
2.
long haul, and he only wins 1 game at home and
might take him
3 on the
years.
road. It could take a
Especially
few
if
years.
Reed keeps beating him out there. I think it was the weekend, but the day of the Chiefs Raiders game at the end of the season. Somebody who worked for the Chiefs went out to the corner where the Hardman touchdown was and just took a picture of it. He goes, good times. And I thought, oh yeah, I'd kind of forgotten about that. That was the spot. So that made me think about division. And then when the Seahawks got in there, I was like, that's got to be fun for the Niner fans.
How much
To have to
time, by
watch
the way,
the
just I think the most entertaining thing for most people would be how much time it took you to. Because you had to go
Not
back
that
and longer than people might realize
Probably.
because of the division changes.
Yeah.
Except for you are such a nerd that you actually know what year the divisions changed and you have all the divisions memorized.
I had to check, but
So-
it probably 10 minutes.
No
kinda
way.
Yeah, it's like 5. No, see, I would just look at the thing because I just got on Wikipedia has the Super Bowl, so it has the winner, loser, and then it has the stadium. So I went, okay, nope. No, they were in a different division. I had to look at both teams. Nope.
Kyle, you ever have a thought to do something like that?
The same task would have taken me probably 45 to his 10.
But
I mean, if you know what divisions is
exactly,
because the nice thing about this, from 70 to 2001, all the teams were basically in the same division. You just have to remember which. It was just once I made the adjustment of Atlanta and New Orleans in the West, and the Colts in the East. There really is not much else other movement.
So, Kyle, would you ever be motivated to do such a thing?
If Kurtis was out and I needed some end of the hour questions,
Then you might.
Then I might.
Listen, let me be clear. I am not looking down my nose at all because I would love to. I love doing things like that. It's just I don't have time. Like it's always like, no, got to do this, got to do that, got to do that. I would kill to just sit and go through. Ooh, look at this. Ooh, isn't that neat? I'm right there with you as far as the dork fest that is the looking through those kind of things. I love it. The Super Bowl is great because for you it's too big, Kyle, to get your arms around. And I don't remember what's the first one you remember?
Super Bowl
watching.
10. Super Bowl 10.
That was
the first Steelers Cowboys Super Bowl.
Because my first one that I remember is Broncos Cowboys.
12. 2 years
12.
later, yeah.
So that's the first one that I remember. So it's not that far beyond our coherent sports fandom to get our, we just got to remember another 10 or 12 games. So we can kind of get our arms around the whole thing. But you're like, whoa.
Like the World
Oh, my
Series.
God.
I mean, the first
Mike Ditka won a Super Bowl? You mean the guy who does the commercials? Like, he played football?
The guy who's kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Yelling at Will Ferrell, that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the first Super Bowl I think I remember is the Santonio Holmes catch.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm trying to think before that. No, it's that one.
Oh, my Lord.
I'll give you one more fun thing.
That is ridiculous.
Just being strange, I looked at this today. There, of all the cities that have an NFL and MLB team, and not counting New York or Chicago, have multiple ones, there are 9 whose football and baseball team are in different leagues. Like one's American, one's national. Like an AL team. And
Wait, you mean AFC?
Like an AFC team in football and a National League team in baseball. There are 9 cities that with their mixed. Seattle's one of them that got me thinking about it because the Mariners, the American League, Seahawks, the NFC. We don't do it on the other side of the break or do it now?
No, we're not going to. Because
Miami?
now you've gone too far.
Miami?
Because now I don't have any
You don't
interest in
care?
that. Let's hear it. Go.
Miami, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Denver, Dallas, Arlington, Minneapolis, Detroit, Tampa Bay.
But they're not even called. One's a conference and one's
right. But I'm saying you have divide. You have AFC, NFC, AL, NL. But there's both. They use the word American and national. But those are the 9 cities where they have either a National League team and an AFC team, or the other way around.
All right, I'll give you that.
We're always.
Is there another one?
No,
You don't have more?
That's it.
All right, we'll take a break. All right, are you happy?
For the most part.
You pinned us right up against the break with your
it's all good.
Fooling around with divisions and
with my nerddom. Hey,
Yes.
I'm a sports nerd who doesn't have a wife or kids. You got lots of time to just look for stats. Well, that's interesting. I bet somebody. I love it when I put something out like this is kind of cool. I'll post it on Twitter. Next day is like 2 likes.
By the way, you got it. I was just going to go there. You people have to understand. Follow him. What is it again? Because he's got a new Twitter.
KL Seaboldt.
At KL Seaboldt. Curtis, like, genuinely, you piss him off when you don't, like, retweet and like his good stuff.
I'm just like, ugh. What a letdown.
Are you disappointed?
Yeah, like I'm disappointed in my like.
Stop disappointing the K-Dog.
Like,
when he hatches a good one, could you retweet him so Kyle and I don't have to hear him go, I got like 400,000 retweets on this thing that was a turd. This was a beauty. I got 4 retweets. It's ridiculous.
I'm sad. All right, which country holds the record for the most Winter Olympic gold medals, or just medals, actually? Brought to you by Nick and Jake's. Don't miss their Winter Olympics menu all during the Winter Games.
Fourth quarter of the program begins right now as we finish strong here on a Friday. Thanks for joining us. We've still got Kevin Harlan to go. He's traveling, making his way to the Super Bowl where he'll call the game right here on your home of the National Football League, your home of Super Bowl 60, Sports Radio 810 WHB. Kevin Harlan coming up next. Kind of a fun little kicker for you after that. I don't want to tackle that guy. I'll tell you, might be surprised at who said that.
Yep.
Let's get the things you need to know going right now, though. Let's start with a little Bill Self. Utah comes in. A little appetizer before the big game against Arizona on Monday. Bill Self was asked about Utah's tandem of Terrence Brown and Don McHenry.
How many twosomes in our league are averaging 40 points? You just don't see that very often. And with us, even if DP, if you count his season-long stats, at 21 plus, and who's our second leading scorer at 15 or whatever, it still doesn't add up to 40. And of course, we get a chance to obviously play against two guys this weekend that are combined for 40 from the perimeter. So to me, Brown is a natural scorer. He can score off the catch, and he's got range, but he still drives the ball, and he's got a good in between game. And you're going to have to guard him. You're going to have to guard ball screens in certain ways with him, McHenry for sure, because they can definitely score behind it.
Two guys that together are scoring 40 points. The problem is the rest of the roster scoring 2.
Yes.
I appreciate.
This is like the Rutgers team.
Yeah.
Last year, to a degree, with the two lottery picks and everyone else, nothing.
Yeah. I get what Bill Self. He's listen. We got to play, so let's talk about what it is. And you don't want to look ahead to Arizona and get stung by Utah.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks that's going to happen. But let's talk about the fact that Arizona is looming on Monday. He was asked how he handles tomorrow with that big game against Arizona coming.
I'm going to believe that adrenaline will take over, and we can get through it, because we're not going to sacrifice Saturday to rest people for Monday. I'm believing that we're gonna play to win exactly how we need to play to win, at least in our opinion, on Saturday, and then worry about Monday when Saturday's over.
Okay.
I think I will say it. They can just throw their shorts on the floor and they'll be fine.
Darren Peterson had 35 minutes in the last one.
Yeah, I don't think he'll play.
I don't think we get 30.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think you get 25. To be honest with you, I think this game should get wrapped up. It should be a chance to maybe see some lineup combinations. Use a little depth and get ready for what is the much bigger game on Monday against Arizona. And that is a giant one, because if you win that, now you're just a game back from first place. Now you're talking about winning the league.
Yep.
We asked Greg Gurley earlier, do you win the league? He said, well, my Kansas hat on, I'm always going to say first. We heard Brian Haney say, oh, absolutely, I'll take first. I'm not going to say anything else. But it'll be real, right? It'll be real if they get that win against Arizona. So they know that is a game. There is a potential for them to come out and look a little sloppy as they look forward to the game that is really going to maybe define, if they win it, it could define at least their Big 12 regular season. How about this? We want you to hear Wes Miller from Cincinnati. He's the head coach of the Bearcats. This is his post-game show on WLW after they
lost to West Virginia. They blew a big lead.
After blowing a big lead, this is how he went about his post-game.
I'll say this to you guys and to everybody that's listening. Everybody deserves to be frustrated with us and with me, and it ain't okay to me. I'm sorry. It's not okay. There's no excuse. So I'm sorry to people out there. We have to finish games. That's the responsibility of coaching at this program, and I'm really sorry. I promise everybody out there, you deserve to be frustrated, say what you say or whatever. You deserve it. I promise you, I'm giving every part of my soul to this thing. And I care deeply about this program. And it ain't okay. So I don't want anybody to think I think it's okay. It's not. And people deserve to be frustrated. Nobody is more frustrated with the results than I am.
Let's go. I want you to hear this. This is Miller talking to the Bearcat fans then outside of the locker room.
You guys deserve to be frustrated. It ain't okay. I understand the responsibility of this job. These results ain't okay.
Thank you.
You guys deserve to be frustrated. But I'm a human too, and nobody's more frustrated than I am. So trust me, I care deeply about this.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Sound different than what you heard in Manhattan, Kansas?
Little bit. I'm also entertained by just.
That's why we played it. Like, what are you playing this? It's like, it's a different tone.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it any better. Loss is still a loss, but it is a direct contrast.
I didn't think about it until I heard it again there, the first cut of those two. He's sitting there almost in tears, and meanwhile the arena's blaring Earth, Wind, and Fire. Let us go. Da, 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 da. And I'm I'm just like, wow. Has anybody been almost in tears in an odder moment with as far as what was going on around him?
No, but it is. Listen, and if he keeps losing, that's not going to play. But you can hear the fans. They're like, all right, hey, we appreciate it. Yeah, you know.
A fan happened to be there and just took out his phone and started recording what he was doing and posted it.
Yeah. A couple of NFL notes. Cliff Kingsbury joining the Rams coaching staff. Not sure yet on what it's going to be, but he'll be a part of the equation there. Jim Schwartz has officially resigned from Cleveland, so he will not be a part of the Browns organization. And Sonny Jurgensen has passed away at the age of 91, a legendary Hall of Fame quarterback, passing away at the age of 91. Kevin Harlan is coming up next.
The program with Soren Petro.